Ooh, 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 ooh. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow Tower of God lovers, enjoyers, enthusiasts, readers, and Tower of God side story, Urek, hopefully, enjoyers, because not everyone is enjoying it, but that's okay. It is us back once again for another Urek side story. Amazing, super good, super cool, super glazed reading. And I say us because it's not only me, Chris Allen, your host, your guide, your voice, your narrator, your experiencer, your reactor, your Urek glazer, but also on the sidelines, as always, lurking in the shadows, the ever mischievous, the ever elusive, the ever holy, but also unholy, the original, the OG, the one and only, guide himself, Adrian.
Oh, what up?
So, Adrian, happy
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
We are off. We had a great time yesterday because me and Adrian went out. We got very happy off of some liquid. I don't want to say completely what it was because we're family friendly, of course. Tog is very family friendly, Tower of Good. But we're a little tired for, well, at least I don't know about you, but I'm a little run down after yesterday's escapades. I'm still feeling it a little bit, although I did like 1,800 push ups today. But we're a little bit dampened, I would say, on the energy. But hopefully, the Urek side story chapter will help us out here. But we're here, we're ready, we're happy. We were off, there was no work, and it's a holiday, so happy Memorial Day to everyone else. But Adrian, what happened since last time on Tower of God, Zed side story edition for Urek?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So last chapter was a pretty quick one, mostly because it was a lot of fight scenes, so not a lot of text.
Yes.
We
Mm-hmm.
had the continuation of the fight between Urek
Oh,
and our John Liebert character, Oberyn.
oh.
John Liebert lookalike contest winner, Oberyn,
Yes.
slash priest,
Mm-hmm.
slash kung fu master, because that's
Ooh.
how he fights. I did not expect him to be like a karate type dude.
You reminded me
Like
of
he's
Jun
fighting some
Sung.
sort of kung fu. Yeah, it's some sort of martial arts for sure. But anyways, the fight started pretty in Oberyn's favor, which is not the best thing for him because whoever starts winning in the beginning usually ends up losing at the end, right? Like I feel like that's like a normal thing in
It's
like
either
shonen type fights.
Yeah, it's either one of two things. Either A, they're just gonna completely dominate you in like 2 seconds. But if they don't dominate you in 2 seconds and they're winning at first, most likely they are not gonna be winning by the end because we have to
Mm-hmm.
have surprises in these stories, and the surprise is usually the other person starts winning. So he
Yeah.
he started well early, but he didn't scale essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They gave him some credit. He damaged Urek, it seemed,
So did the
but it was
princess.
all it was all for nothing pretty much because towards the later half, Urek just kind of starts blowing him back. But the fight's not necessarily over though, because at some point he ends up summoning his stando, who's like
Yes.
the mysterious dude. I forget his name, but we have him in the tier list now, and you put him in the OK tier, so he's an OK dude.
Yeah, so just to explain a little bit about that, I feel like a lot of other people who have been shown for longer are not on the tier list, and this one I will straight up admit is just purely a bias pick. I think he looks very, very cool. He looks like holy. He looks religious, just kind of like John Liebert's whole like thing. He looks very much like a priest, and this looks like his like stand from God. So even though other people should logically be on the list that are not on the list, because again they have more time and relevance and stuff, I really just added this thing because it was just so cool looking. So I didn't want to put it too high not to upset anyone, but it's there. It's there.
Mhm.
Purely bias pick.
Yep. And throughout the story, we learned a little bit, or well, the fight, we learned a little bit about Liebert now, that he, like, kind of like, Mago represents something too, and it's evil, I suppose, which is the
Mago?
name of the chapter, so it makes sense. No, I mean, Obrian. Like, like
Oh
Mago's,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
countering hope. He is,
Yes.
like,
Counter good.
he's countering good. Yeah, so he's
So
evil.
so one thing I actually kept hidden from you, because the chapter just came out within the half hour. I saw this but you weren't here to see this. But the title's a little cut off here, so you kind of just saw a little bit there. But look at the
I
full
just read it. Yeah.
title. Yup.
The
The
Will of
Will of
Phantominium.
Phantominium. Oh my god.
That might push the theory that I mean we were already kind of feeling this that like they were once good, right? Like these light people, but like Phantominium reversed them, I guess. Or like maybe
Subjugated
Mago was
them.
Hope at some point, and then now she's like counter Hope, and then maybe Obrian was good at some point. Now he's counter, so he's evil now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And I mean, they're definitely like darker for people that we would expect to be like shining ones, right? They're not really shiny. They're quite dark. So,
It's not a light you want to see if you see them.
mm-hmm. So that's that. And he summons a little Stando dude. In the meantime, we also have the test going on with the regulars. We have Neo. Uh, what's the names?
Joan?
Joan
Or
is there
Jean.
too.
Jean.
Yeah, Jean.
And
They
then
are
Rue.
Rue. Yeah, and I
Yes.
think Evelyn's there too.
Yeah, I forgot about her, yeah. And
Mhm.
if Evelyn's there, you know who else is there?
Do we have the Queen there?
The Blob, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The only other God tier member on the tier list.
Mm-hmm. Well deserved. So that's going on there. Yeah, Eric's just kind of taking care of business, but it looks like they're trying to reverse what's going on in this floor. There's still a lot of mysteries going on. Like we don't really know exactly what's going on, but I think we're getting to the point where we're figuring this shit out. So maybe this episode will explain a little more, especially
Yeah.
since like it's not just called Evil 2, it's Evil 2, The Will of Phantominium. So it's like there's something else to it.
Yeah, I wonder who we're going to talk about this episode, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I think I remember I don't even remember if this was the last chapter. Because we're doing single chapters now, it's almost a little harder to remember because there's not much stuff that happens. But and it was mostly fighting, to be fair, like you said. But
Mm-hmm.
did Evelyn interact with Mashini at all? Like, did she see Mashini and I think she got like jealous or something, or she was like wanting, or maybe not. No, no, it wasn't Evelyn. It was the princess, wasn't it?
Should have been.
What's going on
Oh
with the
yeah,
princess?
yeah. The princess. I was just about to get to that too, right? So the princess is still with Mashni and all the Kun family members, but as Lapis escapes the domain where they were fighting, he has the remnants of Mago, right?
Yes,
He makes a deal with the princess. Well, it's kind of it's kind of like
it's
it doesn't really feel like a deal, but
it's either do this or you die. So it's like it's not necessarily. I mean, I guess she has technically a choice, but who's not gonna take that deal at that point, right? It's
yeah.
like you're gonna take the deal.
Right, but the princess didn't protest at all. Like she was all for it, which is kind of interesting.
And
But
why was she for? Do you remember why?
something about like power, like she wanted to be
She just
stronger,
yeah,
right?
she just literally wants strength, from what I remember. She's
Yeah.
in a way she might be jealous of Urek for that. Like maybe that's what's driving her hate towards Urek. It's just like
Hmm.
jealousy, like, oh, I want to be as strong as him. Like maybe he doesn't take it for granted, or maybe she just, she just wants to be strong, it seems like. Now the question
Yeah.
is why, right? We don't know why she wants to be strong. You know what I think it is? Everyone in mainline
Hmm.
talk was like, yeah, you know what I want to do? I want to make my version of the tower. I want to get Jihad system out. I want my system to be. And basically, they want to all conquer the tower. Even Mago kind of seems like she wanted that. I think John Liebert wanted that, or one of the two of them, if not both. But it seems like everyone's whole goal, or most people's goal, is just, yeah, I want to redo the tower in my way, essentially. They want to rule it almost. I wonder if the princess wants to do that too.
I think she does, honestly, because in the bathroom fight with Eric, she mentions that she also wants to dethrone Jihad.
Bro, so
And
many people got a problem with this Jihad system, man.
yeah, but like for a princess to say that outright is pretty rare, I think. Like obviously a lot of the princesses aren't happy with the situation, but they're also not trying to overthrow it at the same time. Like even I'm pretty sure in Dorsey and Yuri and those type of people aren't really like gung
Well,
ho about that. I mean, they're
well,
more so doing it just because of bomb.
you know what I think it is? I think number one, Bomb inspires them for sure to like think the
Hmm.
impossible is possible. But also
Yeah.
number two, I think it's like sort of like a young thing, right? Oh, you're on the floor of tests, you're hopeful, right? You don't really know how the tower is yet. Maybe they do a little bit, but like you don't really know. I think once they get up the floors and they see like some real problems and some real people, then they're like, okay, yeah, I don't like the system, but I can't really change it. Like when they have like an encounter with a person like Calivan or a person like Liberic, they kind of get put into line and they
Sorry
see
to interrupt.
like,
Keep it going. I gotta step out just for a second.
yeah, no problem. So they kind of see like how these people really are and how they really operate. So in a sense, they're kind of getting like a realistic version of the tower, where it's again on the Florida test, they're like all young and they're like, oh, I could change the world. It's almost like in life, how life kind of beats you down. When you're a kid, you're very hopeful, you think you could do everything, and then it's like that SpongeBob episode where you just go home and you just do your job and go home and like your dreams are kind of diminished because it's like you realize everything costs money and you got responsibilities and people who rely on you. It's sort of like that in a sense, at least. But I think the princess, maybe even without Bomb, because Bomb is sort of the catalyst for these things. I think the princess is kind of maybe using Urek as that thing too. Urek is kind of like an inspiration. Where obviously we see Urek, beating the fuck out of rankers and stuff on the floor of tests. So if that's not inspiring, then what is, right? But in the same way, I think Bomb is inspiring people to think the impossible is possible, which I think they would think regardless on the floor of tests, but it would kind of get beaten out of them as time goes on. I think Bomb keeps that dream alive, and kind of in a similar way Urek does too. It's just kind of funny that at the end of the day, we know at the end here that Urek is in mainline, like he doesn't give a fuck about changing the system. He just wants out. Like he doesn't even want to be here. But aside from that, kind of thinking back to anything else that happened, we had the fight, which, like we said, John Liebert was kind of doing all right in the beginning. And it's really sad because the fight looked very, very, like, not in Eric's favor. And again, I've complained about this too before, but it really feels and seems like the fights are just very, I don't want to say anti Eric, but it's almost like they're trying to give the other side a fighting chance when ultimately they have none. Where a lot of the time Eric is either messing around, clowning around, not taking it seriously, or just getting kind of like, I don't want to say shadow nerfs, but kind of it's not lore accurate to what he can actually do. Like they're doing it purposefully to kind of not shun the other guy too hard. Pagoost, you're here. Pagoost, we missed you. Adrian stepped out for a second, but I'm here, and I'm sure he missed you too. But you made it
I'm back.
right in
What up?
time. Oh, nice, cool. Pagoost here.
I just came back
Ooh,
to.
thank you for the sub, Pagoost. Thank you very much. It's not going to play the sound because we're on talk time, but thank you for the subs so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you very much. Mwah. 12 months too. It's been an entire year since you've been here. Very, very great. We missed you, Pagoost. But either way, so yeah, I just feel like they're kind of doing Uruk dirty in these fights lore wise because it's like he could really be like not messing around and one shot most of these people, and that is one of my complaints. Where in One Punch Man it happens, but I think they do it better. In Tog, it's like Uruk can easily win a lot of these. Oh, there it is. That was a little late, but there you go. There's the sound for the sub. But yeah, no, I feel like Eric could just like slam these people. And with John Liebert, right? Me and Adrian were even betting last week, like, oh yeah, who's gonna win, Eric or John Liebert? Obviously, we're pretty sure it's Eric at the end, but we're hoping they'll at least give him like a run for his money or make him sweat a little bit. But most of these fights are just, and again, you either like it or you don't. I like it. But most of these fights are just Eric is just gonna dominate you, and you think you have a shot when you just don't. And I think John Liebert got the closest, right? I think John Liebert has done like the best to date in boxing Urek, where it's like we thought maybe he had a chance, even though it was just a chance. But obviously now we think it's kind of done. And if I remember correctly, Adrian, the last thing John Liebert did was he ran away. Like he was like, all right, fuck this, right? I think that's the
Let me double check.
last
I have the
thing.
chapter open. I don't remember. I
Yeah,
thought they were starting at some point. I thought that like because he had the summon dude out and they didn't finish.
I know
Yeah,
Urek
but no,
talked
they're
to
still
it.
fighting. They're
They're
still
still
fighting.
fighting.
Yeah.
But is John Liebert in the process of running away or like kind of like backing off or?
Oh, Liebert might have left, but he's fighting the Stando right now.
Okay, so Derek is still fighting, but Liebert himself did run away.
I don't know if he ran, but he's not like
He's not there.
currently active. Yeah, he
Okay,
could just be in the vicinity.
I thought he was running away because John Liebert was operating under the idea that Eric didn't have any of his light anymore, which obviously Eric said, "Hey, you guys didn't take it all. You guys took like only a small fraction of it." So which he let them do, by the way, on some like Goku type shit. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what happened. I think that's pretty much where we at. And Uruk again knows like this thing. I don't remember what it was called. Was it called Justice? Do you remember if it was called Justice or something?
I don't know. It did have a name though.
It
Shit.
definitely did. I mean,
I can
I'm
figure it out
I'm
though.
pretty sure we'll see it
I
again
just
if
knew that.
Pagoose doesn't mention it here. Emperor, there it is. You know what it
Emperor.
was? You know why I thought it was Justice? Because I'm getting reminded of JoJo's. It looks like a JoJo stand, and I know the stand's like in part I think it was part three. In part three, they were like related to the Terrets and everything. So I was like, oh, it must have been Justice. But I think Justice was any of us. But either way. So yeah, that's basically where we are. Are we forgetting anything big, Adrian?
Not necessarily, unless you want to go into depth of the fight between Oberyn and Urek, which I think we don't really have to do, right?
I did a little bit, but nah, it's basically just Oberyn kind of having a little. It's looking like a shot in the beginning, but that quickly, has gone away now because. And again, I hate that this has to happen, right? SIU is trying to kind of give them a chance, and it's the same thing I feel like with oh god, what the fuck is the name? Who's the leader of Fug?
Uh, Lozlek.
Luzlek. I feel like he did the same thing with Luzlek. Luzlek had to have like a good moment by shitting on Urek, even though it really wasn't anything crazy. Like, he shat on Urek, and that's like glaze for Luzlek. Like, just being able to like harm Urek is like a big feat. It's like, why does that have to be a big feat, yo? It's fuck. I hate that shit. They're using Urek to like raise up other people, so they're kind of bringing Urek down at some points. Because again, there's sometimes where he's comically strong. Like it's ridiculous how fast and strong he is. But if there's anyone who would hopefully be close, it is Obrion, aka John Liebert, because as we've said, he was older. Well, not older, but he was more active than Mago, so he woke up earlier than Mago, and it seems to be he's more well put together than Mago too. He's had more time to stack, whatever it might be. But that's basically where we're at. So let's see what happens from here. Let's hope we get some info on Phantominium. I'm very much looking forward to that, and we'll see how it goes. Are you ready to go, Adrian?
Yep.
All right, let's go. A long time ago, Earth. Which I don't know if we're taking that as actual Earth or not, because the tower is sort of like separate. But maybe they're referring to outside the tower here. But let's see.
It's a wild way to start it.
Yeah, so we have some cities here. Oh, honestly, this is looking like normal Earth here. I could still be in the tower, but I
More
don't think
accurate.
so. Yeah.
Jesus exists in the
What
tower.
the? It's Urek. It's Earth for the most part. Wait, this is crazy. I was told you're the future emperor. Oh, wait. So does Obrion take like a human and make them into the emperor? And you must not fall to darkness. Okay, there's a lot of questions that's gonna pop up here. How does Urek know the future and everything? Come with me. Is this guy gonna be like, who the fuck are you? Because he's a businessman, and businessmen, especially in Korean culture, are not like the nicest if you try and interrupt them. What does he think I'm going to say? Oh, he's pretty too. Yes, sir? What a moron. What the fuck was that? That was so weird. Tower of God, Urek Mazino, SIU, episode 46, Evil 2, The Will of Phantominium. So we
The
might see
sequel.
like, yeah, we might see what Phantominium even wants here. At first I thought like Evil 1 was like the only part of the arc, but then when I read like Evil 2, I was like, oh no, Evil's still continuing. I just thought that it was long. I was like, oh shit.
This sets a crazy precedent for Tog that like Earth is like it exists or
Yeah, off
whatever.
of this like small thing. I mean, granted, we don't have like hardcore confirmation, but we could kind of assume, as we can with most things, that maybe this
Tog is
is
an
real.
isekai.
Yeah, Tog is like maybe the tower is literally just somewhere on regular Earth, so there's normal people everywhere, which doesn't make sense because, again, Mago was essentially eating planets. So was she eating Saturn, Jupiter, stuff like that? I don't think there was life on there unless this is different. But
So
we,
we can use Shinsu probably. We just need to figure it out.
I think Shinsu's only in the tower though, because I think Shinsu comes from the
Oh shit. Now you're
from
right.
the
Yeah.
from the admins. I don't think it's on the
Okay, so we
outside.
need to find the tower then, and then we can use Shinsu.
But can we bring it back out? I don't think you could bring it back out.
Um, fill a bottle of it. Like, like Katara uses like water bending with like a little
Oh
gold mine.
yeah, yeah, we bring it back with us, yeah.
I'm trying to black hole sphere at my job real quick.
Oh, me too. A long time later. So here we see the Emperor beating the fuck out of Urk. And again, I said this earlier, I really like the look of the Emperor, man. So I think the family heads are like regular guys outside the tower. We never saw them use non-Shinsu blades. I guess so because this is the hard part, right? Every time I think we've seen outside the tower, it's looked very, very bare bones, not modern at all, right? Like it's mostly looked like people are like ancient, like they're wearing like very ancient clothing, non-modern clothing, or like it's in like a cave or whatever. And I'm really just going towards like what we've seen with Bomb and then what we've seen with like Urek and the people who found Urek, right? Because I'm assuming that was outside the tower. Now, I don't doubt that they have some sort of civilization, but not like modern Earth civilization. I feel like that's out of nowhere. And again, it's such a small thing. Who knows how much we're going to get more information on that? Is SA going to expand on that? Is that just going to sit there for 500 chapters? Who the fuck knows? But it very well seems that, again, the light ones, the shining ones, are above regular irregulars because the family heads came in and I don't think they were really doing much. Now, granted, they progressed quickly, but it wasn't as crazy as I thought. Like they're not as wild as like the actual crazy irregulars, which then makes you question, right? If Phantominium is from outside the tower and we're on Earth, he's not a human. Look at him, right? Like he's a fucking alien. Enryu, God only knows, right? Like those are the real irregulars to me. The family heads are irregulars, and yeah, they're strong, but I feel like they kind of had to scale up that way. When you look at Enryu, when you look at Phantominium, and when you look at Urek, they are problems from the get go. They are big fucking issues that like didn't necessarily need to scale. They were there. Like they were there from the beginning. They are issues. As far as we could tell. Maybe Enryu scaled, who knows, right? But it feels like the family heads did have struggles going up the tower. Now, granted, they went up a harder version of the tower, but in my mind, if you put Enryu, Phantominium, even Urek through the same path they went through, I don't think they would struggle as much as the family heads. So it really begs the question, and I guess to kind of give a straight up answer, yeah, I think they were more regular people than anything. Data Edwan and Data Jihad are getting washed by Urek at floor of test. Yeah, like, bruh. Well, again, Urek is kind of an exception, but at this point, so is Enryu, so is Phantominium. It makes you feel like, yeah, they're irregulars, but they're normal irregulars in a sense, right? And even Bomb. Bomb has a little bit of a caveat because he had a family head inside of him. But it's just very, very odd now. Like, even amongst the regulars, there's like tiers to this shit. It's like, I don't know if I'd put Enryu or Phantominium. Well, Phantominium is his own thing, but I don't know if I'd put Enryu above Urek or not. Like, I think I would, but I don't really know because Urek is getting, like, he's getting tossed around sometimes for, like, plot convenience, but who knows, right? The only thing you can think of is that Urek can't regen his light in the tower. Like, this Urek seems stronger than current day. I don't know. I disagree with that, but I think it just has to do with like the back in the day storytelling and what SAU was like trying to show. I think, we're seeing a more modern version now, and he's showing it definitely more how he wants to. He has stuff more planned out, but I always ask that question too, right? Can Urek regen his light? The little light that was stolen from him, can he like grow that back? Will it come back over time? Is it just gone? Like if he had 100% of his power, is it now permanently capped at like 95%? So to say, can he never get above that? Can he ever increase his power? Obviously, I think with Shinsu he can, but does he even need to? Because Urek doesn't really push himself either, and especially where we are now in the story, what does Urek even want? Back then, like right now, he wants to fight everyone. And in current day modern talk, he doesn't necessarily want to not fight anyone, but he doesn't seem as like gung ho about fighting. He's more just like, yeah, I just want to get out of here. He'll fight if he has to, and he's very easy to get to fighting. But at the same time, he's also like not like just a bloodthirsty animal like someone like White is per se. Or maybe not White fully, but it's weird. We see Urek late in season 3. You imagine if you had the story in mind during the time when Urek was fighting Luzlek the Failures. I think so, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if it was as planned out as that. So it's a little. I don't know. I would like to say like the current day version is probably the most accurate, but I don't know. But I guess we'll read and we'll see. But either way, it's definitely very interesting. But let's take a look. So sometime later, a long time later. So that was way back when. So I wonder if that's even before. And again, this whole thing here opens up so many like questions that I don't want to bother asking them all because there's no answers yet. But it's like, how does Urek know the future? Is this post Phantominium corruption? Is this pre Phantominium corruption? How the fuck does this normal quote unquote businessman know Urek? Why is he just going along with it? Obviously, he doesn't look like he is. There's so many questions here that this now opens up that I'm trying to hold just to see like if we're gonna get like a solution to it. So let's keep going. A long time later, that man did indeed become the Emperor. And here we could see he's slashing at Urek. I wonder how much damage he could really like. Is the Emperor stronger? Is he like the strongest thing that John Lieber can like summon? Is it stronger than him? Is it just to distract him? Again, who knows? Phantominium was already in play because the outside got sort of. Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, even then, it's a little confusing, but you're definitely right about that. But Urek seemed to have trained with them, so it's like in the past they said they like trained Urek and stuff. So it's like if it was post corruption when Urek was born, but then Urek knows them and they know him and they train together, it's like what is going on? Like there's so many things that don't make sense here. So either way, this cool ass motherfucker is fighting Urek with that giant sword. He looks so holy, so cool. He led hundreds of charges into battle. He looks so cool, man. I love his look so much. Yet never tasted defeat. Kind of reminds me of the Baki villains from the Prisoner arc. As a ruler, he was benevolent. And as a warrior, he never surrendered to evil. See, and they're glazing this guy. I'm glad I like preemptively put him in OK tier because I didn't know how much story they were gonna give him, but I'm glad they're giving him story here. Maybe it was a fuck situation where they hid their corruption to train him up and then steal sight. It could be, but it feels like they already kind of knew um what Urek was. Like the lady who like got him, she's like, yeah, this is the savior. So they had to have told him. Like I'm assuming they knew the whole prophecy and everything. So it'd be weird that like he's training with them when he knows they're evil, or maybe they tricked him. But again, we could go into like what ifs forever. So who really knows? But it could be a situation like that. But I don't really think it is. It's very like the timeline seems jumbled up, and I'll give it to SIU. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he can make it make sense, but maybe we just don't know yet. Maybe we don't know the true history. But let's keep going and let's see. Oh, excuse me. They could have killed his caretaker. Yeah, but that's also like a bigger jump where like we're making it make more sense. Can it happen? Yes, but unless like they show it happening, because then how would Urek know they're evil unless they actively betrayed him and then he just beat their ass, right? It's very like a lot of stuff would have to go right for that to happen. So I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It's just without them showing us more, I don't think it happened. When the last thing they showed us was like he was basically adopted into like an order that kind of knows the prophecy. So it could happen, but I need more proof. But either way, let's go back to glazing the. I needed to like find a name for this guy, like the Holy Sentinel. Here is what I'm gonna call him. So here, Eric's sliding back. God, he looks so fucking cool. I was certain he would always be pure and free from darkness. And now we clash again. See, and he says again, so that means they fought before too. Oh my god, and John Liebert's right here, so he didn't really run away. He's just watching like a dick. Watching a fight is so much more pleasant than being involved in it. Yeah, I imagine, because if you're in a fight with Urek, you're scared you're gonna fucking die. Don't you think, Urek? One thing I do like about John Liebert is this guy is low-key a fucking asshole. Like, he is a fucking cockhead sometimes. He comes off as nice, and then he, as the GIF would show in the corner here, as the POV cam shows, then he just fists you from behind. And unlike that GIF, he doesn't put you back together. Just wait there. You're next. The eyes are misaligned. So here he's going on to the Sentinel here. Obrion has the power. Oh, okay, so that looks like it's Obrion's little like thing that I guess he gets turned into or whatever. To turn good into evil. So let me ask you this, Adrian. What do you think
Mhm.
is like a worse thing? Countering hope, like, reversing hope or reversing good into evil?
I don't really know what the parameters for reversing good into evil mean. Like, does it mean that he just turns people into like his minions, or like what does it entail? Because counter hope seems pretty strong off the rip. Because like it sounds pretty abstract, but in practice, it just prevents you from doing what you want to do. So it forces you to like stay in a mindset where like you're clearing your mind or something. Like it makes you like it forces you to play by Mago's rules, which is really messed up.
Huh.
But this one, I don't really understand how powerful it is yet because we don't really understand how it works. So
Hmm.
they're probably going to explain it right now, though, like if they're bringing it up.
Yeah,
So
I'm kind of with Pagoost here too. I think having hope and then having that get taken away is really, really bad because hope is like one of your last things you need, right? Like, you could fight against evil if you have hope, but if your hope gets reversed, what do you really have left? A lot of people can't function without having some hope. I think hope is a very strong thing. So, let's see. The brighter you are, the more darkness he'll taint you with. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah. Basically, he counters good with an equal amount of evil. The Emperor was once the brightest being in the universe. Okay, I'm very scared by this saying here, right? I'm getting like oh my god, what the fuck is it called? Oh my god, what was the item that made you invulnerable, Adrian? Fuck, do you remember?
Blood Tamara.
Blood Tamara, thank you. I'm getting Blood Tamara flashbacks right here. The Blood Tamara made you invulnerable, but it didn't. When they say the Emperor was the brightest being in the universe, right? A lot of the times they equate light to power right now, right? With their X side story, light and shining and everything is like equivalent to like power and strength. When they say this, does this mean he was stronger than Urek? Like, does this mean like he was like the greatest of them? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think so. But like, this, it seems like they're trying to glaze this guy.
Yeah, saying the universe is crazy because that means
Y-
Earth is
Yeah,
so like compared to the universe is amazing or something.
it
I
could
don't know.
just be a saying they're saying. Like they don't mean it literally. We can
What about
assume
the
that maybe.
Viltrumites?
Oh yeah, what about them? I don't know.
We're not
Maybe
considering that.
they're outside our universe. Who knows?
They're quite powerful.
They are. I mean, who knows if they're in this universe? But the hard part is too. We are already technically, if what was said before is to be believed, we are already multiplanetary, right? We're past Earth for sure because Mago is eating planets allegedly, right? So it's not just Earth at play here. We are technically planetary, but open subconscious being good as act. If you knew we were going to fight someone like Oberon, what would you just send morally neutral, evil leaning people to fight Oberon? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. Like, Oberon's power really seems like it counters good people, but and I'm always gonna come in with the questions here, right? I'm the Riddler. What is good? What is defined as good? Because in the universe, there's no hard set good or bad thing because morals are subjective, right? Is it morally good? Is it morally bad? Does it depend on Obrion's interpretation of good or bad? Does it depend on your personal interpretation of good or bad? Because most people think they are good. Even if they are evil, they think they are good, right? So, what is the definition of good that it works off of? Yours, his, some universal one, if that even exists? It's really hard. So I'm very curious as to the specifics, as I always am, but as usual, I don't think we're going to get an answer, or at least we can kind of maybe get a working one as time goes on, but we need to go on to see that. The raw translation that was here was outstanding pillar of goodness and morality, not brightness. Oh, so it's just the webtoon fucking us again. Nice. You think Bomb's a good person? I do too, but Bomb is a good person according to our morality now, right? If we go back in time and we rewind it to like, Viking culture, right? In Viking culture, they would look at Bomb and they'd be like, "Oh, he's not violent, he's not finishing people off." They would regard him as weak and probably ass, right? They wouldn't think he's good. They think he's like not necessarily evil, but they think he's not good maybe I'm bastardizing like Viking culture or whatever, right? Nordic culture, but I think there has to exist a culture where Bomb is not seen as a good person, and at that point, would Oberon's power even work? And again, what is Oberon's power basing it off of? And I think hopefully we'll see that here soon. But let's see. Which means, and the question is, could he corrupt Urek? Right? Because Urek is probably a good person, but I don't think Urek is corruptible because of his light. But you think there needs to be a baseline of being good, not like kicking a random puppy on the street? Well, yeah, but again, who makes that baseline? Because I'm sure there could be a society where they're fucked up and they think that shit's good. Who knows? There's a lot of fucked up things in human history, as like a side note here, that we take for granted today that we just assume is good, that, again, back then was seen as normal and it was good. I'll give you the biggest example, right? Back then, a big portion of society thought keeping slaves was good. They thought slavery was good. Today we don't. Back then, most people did. And nothing is 100% black and white, right? Like, not every single person back then, I'm sure, thought slaves were good, just like how every single person today thinks slaves are bad. I'm sure there exists some people that might think it's good, depending, right? But you're always not going to have 100%. But for the most part, I'm talking about like general stuff here, right? I'm sure there's stuff in certain societies historically where they would say it's good, where today we would look at that and be abhorred, essentially. They don't really think they thought it was good, but they don't view it as bad, it's just normal. Yeah, but if you view it as normal, I think you don't view it as necessarily bad, right? Because if you view something normal as bad, usually you'd want to change it, but that's a little tricky. We're going into like philosophy, and this is always going to be tricky, but let's see what's going to happen here. Which means he he's now the darkest. And again, when they say now he's the darkest, that mean he's the strongest of the dark ones? I mean, are the shining ones the dark ones now? Who knows, right? Or is this just saying? But I think I'm getting a little too hung up on the verbiage here, especially if it's from webtoons. So let's just see what's gonna happen. So Urek is punching, and Urek doesn't seem scared necessarily of the Emperor. He's just like, okay, business as usual. But then again, when is Urek ever scared? So Urek is, yeah, okay, he's doing what I expected. He's punching, and things are just straight up exploding. The Emperor seems okay though, and look, he has like a runic sword too. Those are definitely like Nordic runes. That's like fucking like some Valhalla type shit, like Thor, Odin. Those are cool. Those are actual runes. Figured this wouldn't be easy. Oh, the Emperor is like stone faced too, man. You just wish there was a baseline for Eric's ability to just punch this thing and stuff explodes. Yeah, and again, it really seems so variable depending on just who he's fighting and is there even a level of comedy in it? Because if there's comedy, like with Mono, right? He was like as fast as the fucking Flash. He was making after images. I don't see him doing that in these fights. Like the speed he was having there is insane. Where it's like, do we even take that as like canon or serious? Who knows? So here Eric's leaping in. I'm not gonna lie. I hope the Emperor doesn't get too fucked up here. I really like the Emperor. And then Liebert's just watching. I think is that thing about to hit Lieber? What's going on here? Oh, it looks like it is. Oh, what's gonna happen here? Okay, I have no clue what just happened. What is going on? So he's looking at Eric. I don't know if Lieber got hit. Oh, okay, I guess maybe it went past him. So here Eric is blocking. It looks like Urek did nothing, or it didn't do nothing to him. And then Urek gets like a good left punch right in the fucking rib here, and those fucking hurt. And then he's giving him an uppercut. But also, the Emperor looks like he's not even reacting either. Good characters have evil powers like VL. Oh, no, I like that too, man. I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing, but one thing I really, really like, and I think a lot of people have taken inspiration from this, even in general, right? But maybe specifically this thing too, is in Bleach, I love the concept of Hollow Ichigo, right? Like, Ichigo is obviously a good character. Hollow Ichigo comes out, it ain't so good no more, man. Like, it's not necessarily like, I don't know if I'd count that as an evil power, but I'd say it kind of fits. But I love that idea, and it's very similar to Viol too. Like look at Bomb. He has like a quote unquote evil entity within him, at least with the Thrioses, and then now with V, right? Because I put V in the quote unquote evil camp kind of for right now. Although I'm not too attached to that because V is he's a little bit of an asshole, but it seems like he's kind of looking out for Bomb, kind of. But And yeah, Leviathan again. I don't know if I'd put Leviathan as straight up evil. Leviathan just wants freedom. I don't think that's bad.
Well,
But
what about
honestly,
Bomb's true power though? Like Viol, what is it called? V and all of his like attachments never really added like that sort of darkness to Bomb power. You know when you did like Dark Twist, like was that truly Bomb's thing? I don't think that was V's influence at all. Like Bomb himself is like the void kind of. Like
you
sort of
think
like Hollow
so?
Knight, I think. I don't know. That's kind of like what I feel. 'Cause whenever Bomb, he's like turning up or whatever, his Shinsu takes like a dark color. But
So
when V takes control, it goes back to like looking like water.
I guess you're not wrong because the main question I have is like,
Yeah.
how
And
much
people say
of
like
bomb?
corrodes Shinsu.
Yeah, how much of bomb is bomb though? Like, is that from V's influence? Is that like his power mixing with V? Is that purely just bomb and how he is naturally? I
The
don't
way I
know
narrow it
any of these.
down is by like process of elimination. Like we know it doesn't belong to any of the things that we currently see inside a bomb. Like it's not the Thryoses, it's not Leviathan, it's not V when he does like Dark Twist, right?
Uh huh.
It's like and it's also like a bomb style move. Like when he does it, like it actually says like 25th night style, right? Like the endless sky and things of that
Oh,
nature. So
okay.
I think it truly is like bomb's nature. Like bomb
Hmm.
has like it's I think Bomb has like an identity crisis, and it's like that's something we've seen throughout the story, especially when he initially drew the line. And he's like, "This represents me," but it was actually him breaking the seal to V, which is like a crazy plot twist because it didn't actually represent him in some way.
Oh my
Kind of like a
God.
neat little like thing that happened, but there definitely is a real Bomb in there. It's just that he's absorbing so many things. He's like losing himself. I wonder if there's like a parallel to this. I feel like there has been like I think in there's like another anime where it's like a certain person's like ability causes them to lose themselves and they like forget who they are or something. I don't know.
Well,
It
there
sounds like a
definitely
trope that I've
is.
heard before. Yeah,
I'll tell you
but I feel
one.
like Bomb is has like a very similar situation.
Yeah, I know it's happened multiple times. I'm forgetting one of them because I'm thinking of two. I know there's two aside from Tower of God where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
One of them for sure, and I've mentioned to you before, is My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia, there's a
Mm,
big character that has that happen to them. And I know it's come up at least one other time in another anime I've seen, but I haven't seen anime in so long, I kind of forget where it's from. But it's not
yeah,
a completely original thing. It has happened before. You're right. But
yeah. I was thinking of one. Actually, one popped in my head. I don't know how good it is, but like, I don't know if you've heard of Darker Than Black. Have you heard of that one?
I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay. Well, this guy has this power where and it's very much like My Hero Academia. Whenever I think of My Hero Academia, I think of Darker Than Black because a lot of the powers have downsides to them. Specifically for like Darker Than Black, like they have to pay a price whenever they use their power. But
Ooh.
this person's ability, straight up, his ability was that he can switch his body with animals.
Uh-huh.
But the issue is that he can never switch back. So he didn't realize what he did. He ended up losing his
Oh.
body, and now he's stuck in like a cat body.
Oh
And
my
but he
God.
can switch between different animals and stuff like that. But he lost his body.
Wait, so can he just not go back to the previous animal's body like at all? So can
I
he go
forgot
back
what
to a
happened.
different human's body or?
I no, he can't go. He can only go back to animals, and I assume himself too. But at some point, he lost his own body, so he was never able to get it back, or something like that. I forget the specifics of it. It's either he. It was two things that happen, like two ways that it goes. Either he shifts to an animal and realized he could never go back because his ability only lets him switch between animals, or it's that he lost his body at some point
But
and now is
technically
stuck only switching to animals.
humans are animals if we're being,
Yeah, but
scientific here.
but yeah, but the reason is because he lacks the part of switching between humans because someone else has that power. His is specific to animals. So
Oh.
it's like it's there's a limitation on it.
Bro, that requirement sounds so annoying, the one that Pagoose just put in. You need to make a 10 by 10 grid of rocks with perfect
Yeah.
symmetry. That
No,
sounds annoying as fuck.
a lot of the prices in Dark and the Black come in the form of like some weird sort of like physical like urge to do something. Like sometimes people have to like one of the worst ones is like this guy literally has to snap one. He has the urge to snap one of his fingers every time he uses his power.
Oh
Like he has to physically break one
God.
of his fingers, and it's strange because they don't explain what happens if they don't do it. They just do it every single time. Like they have the urge.
Oh
They
my
cannot not do their thing.
God.
Hmm.
Bro, that is horrible. What the
And
fuck?
then
I
there's some
like
pretty
that though.
mundane ones too. It typically depends on how strong the power is, but that's not always the case. Like
Okay.
Like some people get away with murder. Like they have like a very easy price to pay for like a pretty decent power.
You know what this reminds me of? This
Hmm.
reminds me of, and this is like a slight spoiler for Hunter x Hunter here, but it reminds me of Nanika majorly. Like, you know how Nanika grants a wish, but
Yeah,
like there's a price?
exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
that. It's very much like that.
Yeah, but
He has
everyone has
to
their own.
smoke a pack after you.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That would typically be a pretty easy one to do, but that the character who has that ability actually hates smoking.
Oh,
So it's like it's his worst thing for him.
that's funny. Yo, this
If I
sounds
remember
funny.
correctly.
Wait, you gotta like tell me about Darker Than Black after this. I might
It's made
want
by
to
the
like.
same guy who made Cowboy Bebop too. So
Oh,
it's a
really?
very old, but also like it kind of flew under the radar, but it's a really good show.
Okay, I gotta note this down. I might watch this when
Hmm.
I get free again. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. But anyway, so back to here. It's not complete. You can read the manga. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Okay, well we'll see. But either way, going back to the fight here with the Emperor. So Urek is pummeling this guy, but it looks like it might not really be doing much. But let's see. And again, we always have to ask the question: is it not doing much because the guy is strong, or is it not doing much because Urek is just not going crazy mode? So let's take a look here. So Urek's
What's even
going in.
crazy? Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Pugus
No,
just
you
mentioned
good.
that I brought up Dark in the Black. I think what's even crazier is whenever I bring something up, Pugus instantly knows it. Like that is such
Yo,
a
he's
good
locked in, man.
feeling.
I'm telling you, he's so locked in.
Yeah.
He knows. That's why I love having Bagoost here. He knows all of this. He's one of
Hmm.
us. It's not many of us too, but he's one of us. So anyway, Urek is clashing with the rune sword here, the runic sentinel here. Great sword is slow. But and God, look at how crazy that is. Like he's literally just fisting the sword, and that's like his battle thing. Like imagine that, Adrian. You're not fighting a sword with the sword,
Hmm.
you're fighting it with your fist. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the Emperor is fast. Okay, yo, this Emperor, yo, this guy, yo, invest in the Emperor stocks, everyone.
Yo, bring Han. Han will take him out.
I don't know.
He's a
Listen,
sword master.
I still think like Mago was like underdeveloped, and even she
Hmm.
was giving Han a little bit of an issue. Well, actually, it was when she like was using her
Edwan, yeah.
Light. Edwan. Han, I don't know how Han would do it, because Han and Edwan like compete, right? I don't think they've said if one is always above the other. Is Han above Edwan, or do
Han
they
is
ever like?
above Edwan, yeah.
He is okay, but is it like
I don't know if
crazy
it's a
above?
significant margin. No,
Yeah,
I
it seems
mean,
like they're close.
Han always wins in their head to head, so there is a decent margin there, but I don't think it's like huge. I don't know.
Okay. Because I see like Han and Edwin as like the upper echelon of like the fighting family heads. Like
Hmm.
if you want to fight someone, you don't want to fight them because
For
they're like the
sure.
highest ones. So it's a high difficulty fight. Okay, but Han is still above it. Okay, okay, that makes sense. So Han, for all intents and purposes, minus Jihad, is like the hardest family head to fight.
Hmm.
Mind you, Uruk beat him on the floor
Do you
100 test.
do you still feel like the because I was mentioning this earlier before, and it kind of like shifted my opinion a little bit when we saw that Mago lost, but like how do you feel about the shiny ones being like a step above the family heads in
I
terms of
like
power?
it. I like
Like
it, but
do you agree with that sentiment even though like
yes,
Mago technically lost?
yes, I agree. Well,
Okay.
yes and no, because again, we saw one instance, right? I doubt we'll see it again. I'd be shocked if we see another family head fight a shining one, right? Because that's rare enough. But
Hmm.
I think it's a very hard thing. I can understand the argument as to why they wouldn't be, right? So
Hmm.
my idea is the shining ones are above them because it's just lore wise what I think makes the most sense, right?
Right, I agree with that.
Because more and more we see these family heads, they are not as impressive as the mythos makes them set up to be, right? And we
Hmm.
kind of expected that, but again, I had a lot of issues with that Edwan fight. For him to struggle that much, which at the end of the day he won, sure, but and Mago really was relying on Urek's Light. Before the Urek Light thing came in, she was kind of getting smoked no matter what, right? But again, she was pre-baked. She just came out the oven, right? She was not done. She needed time, and she's also corrupted. So who knows if they're uncorrupted, if they're stronger, if the corruption makes them stronger, if they need time. There's a lot of
Right.
what ifs in the air, but at the very least, Edwan did not seem crazy to me. He definitely had some cool moments, especially at the end there, but it seemed like for the amount of like, in Edwan's own words, he was tired after that. He didn't know if he could keep going. Now again, that's mostly glazing Urek in my mind, not Mago, right? But if Urek is meant to handle these people, I do think that like they are probably above the family heads if they're 100%, but I can take the argument maybe they wouldn't be. We just honest to God need to see more. We really do need to see more. But
Yeah, I agree.
take peak
Uh,
Traumarai, how does Mago reverse all but shit like disconnect and hundreds of Shinwei? Well, here's the problem, right? And this is the major issue I have with Traumarai. Traumarai's, disconnect was supposed to beat everything until it didn't. What didn't it beat? The flames, Blossom's flames, right? So at that point, can we reverse Blossom's flames? Because she wasn't even able to reverse Edwan at first, but again, is that just because she's too weak, right? Maybe it's too much of a power difference. I don't know if she could be overloaded by volume. I think it really is dependent on power. I think maybe she can, but it's just too in the air, man. I don't know. Because it definitely seems like the Shining Ones, just lore wise, should be above the family heads in my mind. Like, I can totally understand the argument. Maybe they couldn't be though, but like I need to see more of both. I really need to just see more of both because right now, the highest thing in my mind is Blossom. Now, from what you said before, Pagoost, where you think Edwan and Han are close one, and then Urine is like three. Where do we put Blossom in that? Because who did they say Adrian was the scariest when they got angry? Was it Blossom or was it Urang?
Shit, I don't know. I feel like they all get mad. All the girls
It
get
was
mad, like
Urang.
are scary when they're angry, right? Because now I'm thinking of what is it? Uh, as well. Freaking what's her face?
Yeah, but they were all scared of someone when they got angry, and Pagoose is
Okay, it was
saying it's
Yang.
Urang. Yeah.
Okay.
So by that logic, right, is that more comedic in sense, or are we going by the logic of if Urang is angry, is she the strongest? I don't know. I don't think so, right? But
Yeah.
we don't get definitive answers, man, and I hate
You
this
know,
shit.
it's weird too because the guys like Han and Edwan are both like strong and they're also rank strong, but I feel like the girls are like sleeper OP. Like freaking what's her face? The sleepy one, Eurasia, Ha, and like Yurang, like they all seem like they should be really strong, but we just haven't seen them do anything.
Yeah.
Like
Again,
I feel
that's the
like
hard
they
part.
might even have a better fighting chance than some of these China. Like I feel like a lot of stuff could be matchup dependent. Like I was just thinking earlier that like Mago has the capability to completely checkmate someone if they don't have something to deal with her counter hope. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how strong you are. If Mago can counter hope you and you don't have anything to deal with it, you could just straight up lose, even if you're
See, and
stronger
I
than her.
I love that too. I really
Yeah.
like that. Like that is like an intellectual thing. Now you got to figure out what to do. It's not just I'm stronger than you. It's like you
Hmm.
got to figure something out now. And I really like the Trauma and Gusting fight for that. It was a lot of fluff there for sure, but it's like we've only seen non-combat family heads fight. I don't think like Trauma and Gusting, because again, they're not ranked high in like the fighting pecking order, right? I don't know how high they are. I don't think they're the lowest, but like they're kind of like middle ground, right? We need to see like one of the high family heads, like the combat ones, fight and then judge based off that. And again, there could be specialists, and I like that idea too. I really like that idea. That's like, okay, maybe in like a general sense they're strong, but this person you just can't 1v1 them. Maybe you could squad them, maybe you could group them, who knows, right? But things are just so much in the air, man. But I like this. I definitely think it's interesting. I like the matchup idea. Yeah, and the fact that Calvin
Hmm.
hard
Yeah.
counters
I hope
Ginsung is
SIU
crazy.
leans into it more.
White counters Calvin. Yeah, I think
SIU
that's
doesn't
so
typically
cool.
lean into this sort of stuff.
Like, even Ginsung, even though he was getting hard countered by Calivan, he almost beat Calivan. Like, if Mashini didn't get involved, I think there was a decent shot like Ginsung had, too. Like, man, oh my god, Ginsung's so fucking cool. But yeah, no, I like this idea, but we gotta see. We gotta see. Anyway, let's get back to the Emperor. We keep like straying from the Emperor. I think the Emperor's cool. Oh my god, look at him. Look at him with his rune sword. So here Urek is looking a little surprised. I think it's gonna be all for nothing. Uh I don't know what the Emperor's necessarily doing. Is he pushing it down here? Okay, yeah, he is. He's creating like a big blast. And I think multiple blade things are coming down here. Multiple like shockwaves or whatever. Okay, big explosion. But the shining is still. Adrian, what the fuck is he sitting on? I think that's a
Looks like a
slave.
person.
Yeah, I think he has a
Yeah.
slave sitting there. I hope that's just
What's
like
the?
something he made out of shadow and that's not like an actual person, yo.
He has a person's soul that he keeps just to use as a bench because he's the perfect size.
Bruh, I hope that's not the case. I did not notice this before. That is something. Either way, Urek is
But if
coming
this was
in.
Mago, you'd be like, I wish that was me.
Yeah, yes, you're 100% right. Yes. Dude, Urek went for the cheap shot here too. Did you see this shit? He just got violated by the Emperor, or the Emperor tried to. And instead of fighting the Emperor, he went for the cheap shot against fucking John Liebert here, yo. I hope he doesn't hit the slave.
Gotta go for the stand user.
Yup, honestly. Nah, it's not really a cheap shot, but he did like a sucker punch essentially. Are you angry because you're starting to realize just how much your friend has changed while you were apart? He was his friend? Wait a minute. Is this gonna be a fucking Hell Joe incident again, man? Those who have endured despair and faced it by allying themselves with darkness. Dude, he loves doing these flips, bro. I love that he's the priest too, man. I love his priestly attire. Are inevitably drawn deeper into it. Just like those test directors you met. What? I personally recruited some of those directors from this tower and recommended them to Leo. Dude, this guy really is evil, yo. They have all joined hands with darkness after being beaten down by life. Also, you know what he did? He went to people who already were having a bad time and he offered them a way out. You know what he is,
Hmm.
Adrian? He's a fucking drug dealer, bro. This guy is just a drug dealer. Oh my
Yep.
god. Also, I saw your thing that you sent me, Pagoose. We could look at it at the end though, but I gotta see this. I gotta see what you sent me. But it's not talk related, which is why I'll leave it to the end. But I think that looks funny though. And future a little knowing that Eric is so familiar with power corrupting people, he gave Red Thriasa to Joe and thinking he wouldn't be corrupted. Well, to be fair, right? I think he saw Joe as such a good guy. Maybe he thought it could help Joe. I mean, I think Urek is too hopeful. Listen, Urek has his issues, right? Urek is not a perfect man. He's very nice. I think he holds back a little bit too much, and he doesn't make all the right decisions all the time. He's not perfect, but I think it's okay that he gave it to LJ. Listen, he was trying to help his homie out. Now, listen, he's a little stupid for giving him a fucking baby administrator, right? But I also don't partially blame Heljo too, because remember, if Hell Joe like didn't get like persecuted and stuff and wasn't with stupid fucking people, because the floor of death was filled with those idiots, right? Like they're not innocent either. They kind of made Hell Joe into what he is. It's not necessarily full on corruption. It's also like his environment sort of changing him too. I think Hell Joe was a good guy in a bad spot, environment and everything. I don't necessarily think it's corruption. It's more just fed up. Like Hell Joe got fucking. I don't fully blame him, bruh. I don't fully blame him. Love Hojo though. He's not going out and solving the issue at hand. If he tried a little harder during the war, he could have prevented the death of Trump. Yes, you're not wrong. But again, Eric just doesn't care. Like that is something that you say, and believe it or not, Pagoost, I've actually dealt with that a lot in my personal life. I have a lot of power to do things in terms of like group stuff because I had a lot of things, right? Like I'll give you an instance, a Discord server. But because I'm trying to be fair and I'm trying to like hold back and not like overly punish, it actually leads to a case where I should have punished and then problems occurred. It's like you don't want to overstep bounds sometimes and when you easily could. Now I'm not saying that's what Eric's trying to do. I'm just saying in general. Like it reminds me a little bit of me. I don't know if Eric is the same reasoning, but I think it's very interesting that like Eric doesn't necessarily do all these things. I don't necessarily know why fully, and you are right. If he got more involved, he could do it. But at the end of the day, is it his problem? Does he care? What does he want? There's a lot of reasons I could see why he doesn't. But you're not wrong. If he got more involved, it definitely could have been solved. But let's see more of the corruption here. So I brought them here. Oh my god, it's Heidi and the Chud. Heidi! Promising them a new life. Oh no, it's Rahab. Oh, look, he got his mask back. God, it looks like he has like a rhino nose or whatever. Just like Leo, They want Mago to regain her power. Said he didn't want any heads to die yet. Yeah, I don't know why he said that. It's not a lead. Yeah, look, he had to redo it. Rahab, so they can take revenge on the tower, the place that drove them to misery. Again, they're taking advantage of people who are like desperate. This is really like fucked up what he's doing. There are invaders outside. Have you noticed any abnormalities here? Uh, of course not. No one can escape this prison. Oh, yo, Adrian, Heidi's being a homie. Heidi's being a fucking homie, yo. Hold on, let me DM you this shit too. I don't know if we'll use this one, but this could be a potential title right here. And then we got to use not I'm not saying to use this one as a title, but just to remind me of like something close to it. But either way,
We like the alliteration with our titles.
yes, yes. Those who have escaped misery by allying themselves with darkness. No! She's lying! Yo, this fucking chud, bruh. Rue and Evelyn have escaped. I didn't do his voice properly the first time. Yo, Pagoose, you know it, bruh. You know it. Are drawn into it far more easily. Damn it! Oh, nah, and Rahab didn't even give her a chance to even explain, by the way. If you're Rahab, what if this chud is lying? You're gonna believe the like thing of like a random regular here over like your worker? This is like crazy that Rahab didn't even give it time. Also, I think the needler is still there, by the way. I see the spines right there. Unless that's like a misdraw here, but bro, I'm telling you, this fucking chud Go-Go Jung's like stupid shit. He literally says shit that doesn't even help him. Like maybe this would help him though. Maybe like Rahab would be like, "Oh, thanks for helping me. Like, I'll give you a job or something." But dude, oh man, I hope Heidi's gonna be okay. Yo, I like Heidi, man.
The Chud does it for the love of the game.
No, this fucking chud,
It's not
yo.
about winning.
No, I hate this guy, yo. I saw this coming, Heidi. You never believed in the power of the gems like the rest of us. Of course not. I have no interest in that foul power. Yeah, Heidi, yeah! Yeah! Not after that gem. Corrupted Lord Asa. And think about it, as corrupted as they are, Adrian, what did Lord Asa do when he saw Edwan? He fucking kneeled. I will always remember that. That shit was so good. Oh my god, what is Rahab about to do? The light of those gems corrupts people. But I suppose that didn't apply to you. Because you were already corrupt. Oh, nah, and she's shit-talking him too. After all, you were expelled from your team after murdering your teammates in the tower. You traitor. Ooh! How dare you? You don't know what you're talking about. No! No! What is he doing? No! They deserve to die. Oh my. I mean, listen, I want to be fair. I want to hear his side out a little bit too, but like, man, oh no, what is he doing? They may have been on. Fuck. They may have been on my team, but all they ever did was hold me back. They were useless and worthless. Because of them, I lost an important battle. Yet they simply comforted each other and then moved on. Oh, nah, Adrian, I do not like what's happening here, bruh. I do not like what's happening here, man. Poor
Power of bad.
Heidi. This is like very graphic. It really, yeah, it kind of does remind me of Arya, but like, dude, I don't like this at all. Like, I just hate savage beating when it's not deserved. If it's deserved, fine. But the Heidi doesn't deserve this. She's good. Those weaklings deserve to die. Heidi, no! Don't make me put you on the victim's tier, please. Also, somehow she's still talking. Holy shit. I mean, she's a ranker at the end of the day, but maybe that's just what you want to tell yourself. But remember, no one deserves to die. I don't know if I agree with that. No one deserves to die. The fact that you've forgotten that means you've become corrupt. Oh, Rahab's not gonna like this. The most interesting one out of all those I brought here. Dude, look at this poor shadow slave. Oh my god. Loves killing regulars specifically. Apparently, that's not allowed in this tower. Go figure. But here, you can kill as many regulars as you want. I mean, to be fair, they come back, but. And she's. Wait, she? With your friends right now. Adrian, he's not talking about Jean, right? I hope he's.
How?
I don't. Who else could this
Who could it
be?
be? Yeah, I don't know. I
I hope
mean,
it's not
Gene fits
Jean.
the thing. I thought he was referring to the rankers,
I
though.
thought so too. I thought I was gonna say like Rahab or like one of his minions, but
Who could it be?
yeah, I'm a little scared right now.
Is it
Oh
Ghislaine?
no. Well, Giselle is Giselle even with them? I don't think she
I
is.
don't know. Yeah, I think she's still trapped in prison.
Let's see. No. There's no point in rushing there, Urek. What? No, are they all dead? No way, they're all dead, right? There were six: Rahab, Heidi, Lapis, Mono, and Leo, and now this one. I don't remember. Fuck. They're all dead. Wait, who is this?
Who is that?
Oh my god, she's hot though. She's really hot. No way this is real. Nah, this has to be a fake image. Who is this? This
It's
can't be
Genjutsu.
real. No, yeah, it's Genjutsu. No way. That's the last angel? No way.
How is Machini just gonna let this shit happen? Are they not in this area too?
Well, I think they left, but nah,
They just dipped?
this can't be real. Nah, if this is real, we're gonna have a reset. The floor is gonna get reset, I'm pretty sure. No way they're all dead, bro. No way.
Wait, I know. You know how I know that that image is fake
How?
and how it's AI?
How?
The queen isn't there.
That's true. That well, maybe the queen got away.
This is an AI image.
Maybe the
It's
queen
not real.
left. Maybe the queen ran away to try and get Urek to help. Maybe. Urek does not look like happy though. And again, right? This might happen again. And I hate if this happens. Urek hears this stuff, right? Like remember with the puppy that like got killed and Urek was very pissed about it, but then 1 second he's able to not be pissed, and the next second he is pissed. He seems like he could turn off his anger, but it's like in a similar way, I feel like Urek doesn't get totally angry off these things. Like he gets angry, but then he just like loses it. They recover Sleeman's body. I don't even remember Sleeman. I'm gonna be honest. Who's Sleeman, Adrian?
Sleeman's the one who has the unique spear bearer ability
Oh,
where
he's the
he can
coon.
point it at your heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they got Sleeman's body. Do they even care, man? I mean, I'm sure they do. They should, but who the fuck cares? Sleeman was cool, but he's done. He's out. Urek looks like yo. I hope it's kind of the opposite, right? When we were waiting for the bomb anime rage moment and we got it, bomb delivered. Like I was very satisfied with the bomb anime rage moment we got, like at the top of right before the Hell Train with the Revolution Road, right? I feel like Urek has so many almost anime rage moments. Like the biggest one we got was with like the bull and stuff, and even then he was tame. With what Urek is capable of, he was very tame. Like I want to see an anime rage moment where he's like, "All right, that's it. I'm not holding back. I'm not being nice. You're getting one shot. Like fuck you." Like I want to see him lose his shit right now. But all three of them are illusions anyway. Who cares if they die? Okay, all right. So they're okay. They're fine then. What is the meaning of this? Dude, this poor shadow thing. Why does he have to make it like that? What do you think? I'm feeding the fire. Nah, he looks crazy here. His face actually looks crazy. What? I'm tossing firewood into the flames. Even though I know it's risky, just to watch the beautiful blaze. I don't know why, but I'm captivated by the light of the flames. Is he talking about like Urek's power? Is he captivated by like Urek going like, like full power mode? You see, the more dangerous the flames become, the more beautiful. Oh, Urek does not look happy, yo. The more beautiful they look. So he, in a way, is also sick, right? You know how Mago, and I kind of take this further. I think Mago personally loves Urek, right? But you know how she's kind of obsessed with Urek?
Hmm.
I think in a way, like John Liebert is too. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I think in a similar way, John Liebert is very interested, or he kind of gets off, maybe in like a little bit of a sick way. He kind of gets off on just seeing Eric's power. So while Mago also likes the power too, I also hope that she also likes Eric as well. But it really seems like John Liebert really just is like amazed by the power, even if it's dangerous to have it come out. Like he's kind of goading Eric into just using it more because he kind of likes it, which obviously is not good for him here, but so keep burning for me, Urek. Oh yeah, this is some like weirdo horny shit right here. Oh my god, he just kicked him. Again, Urek should be going man mode here. Why is Urek not going crazy mode? Dude, this poor shadow guy, yo. Oh my god, he just kicked him into the fucking wall. That's so funny. Man, Urek needs to really like now the sad reality is because Urek has gotten like so annoyed so many times, I feel like it's getting like diminishing. Like I don't think he's gonna really go crazy because he's gotten angry so many times and he hasn't done anything. What the hell is wrong with you? Mago and I are obsessed with your light. See, look, I said that too. I said that. You think he can't kill him, or because Urek doesn't know where Oberon's gem is? I mean, isn't the gem inside of them? I feel like the gem is always inside of them, right? Because at least with Mago, that's where it was. It was inside of her. She was able to like go goop and like kind of adjust it around and stuff. But I haven't seen a an instance where the gem wasn't with them. But maybe you're right. It's my wish to burn with you when you're shining at your brightest. I didn't know they could leave it. Did you know that, Adrian? That they could leave the gem outside?
I didn't think so either, but I mean, there's still a lot we don't know about these people. So
I always assumed they had to have it on them. You think I've... Oh my god, this is so fucked up, man. You think I've been corrupted? No, that's what they were. I thought Mago just gave him like either a part of it or like a special instrument. I didn't fully know if it was her gem or not. And I feel like they never really explained it either, but I didn't think that was her whole thing, was it? Can they be like separate from like their core? That would be crazy if they could. They blamed me right up until they died. Pathetic failures, dude. Rahab is just evil Prince like so badly. Some people do deserve to die. Yo, someone gotta help Heidi, Adrian. Please, someone help Heidi from this abuser, man. You're right. Some people deserve to die. Oh!
who
Adrian,
is it?
who is this, yo? Oh my god.
Okay, we don't need to change the GIF anymore. We just need to change the
The
text.
text, yeah. Yeah, we do, yo. I mean, he's not really fisting him. He's kind of sorting him, but let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Asa the goat. Asa the goat. God, he almost looks kind of more calm now too. Doesn't he look like he's not as crazy anymore?
Yeah, he does.
I hope he's back to his senses. I hope him and Heidi are cool. And you're one of them. Rat. Okay, maybe he's still a little crazy. I still see the fire in his eyes too, so maybe he's still a little crazy. Maybe he's just calm from like being around all these big fishes. Master? Oh shit! And I know for a fact Rahab cannot handle Asa, bruh. Am I gonna have to put Rahab on victims tier? Even though I think he already kind of is. Is he? Where is he? Is he there? Yeah, he is there. He's just crying, yeah. So he might need to get moved lower a little bit, but we'll see. Asa? Oh, dude, I love the way Asa looks, but he looks so Victorian. Heidi, are you alright? Oh my god, she's hugging him, yes! Heidi, and also I this is what I hate about Tower God. After they get like beaten, hit, fight, after they're fighting, they look fine. Like they look normal.
Hmm.
Master, you're back. Oh, thank goodness. Heidi. I like how Heidi's text is green too. Heidi, why didn't I see that a blindingly bright light was right here all along? What a fool I have been. God, look at him. He's like crying. Yo, this is good. I'm sorry. I, I almost got scared for a second. I thought he was about to like kill her or something. All right, so here we go. We went back to chapter 27. Urek needs to find the flower, not the gem. Wait, I'm so confused. Is the flower not the gem? I thought the flower was the gem. But honestly, I don't know. It sounds like you need a good beating. Oh my god, yo, Urek wants to punish! Ouch. Calm down, I was just kidding. You were kidding? Yes, your friends are still alive. Oh my god, this guy's a fucking lying piece of shit,
It was a
yo.
doctored image.
Bruh, so he's really just saying whatever just to get this guy fucking pissed. What? I'm sure she's tailing them, but she won't have killed them, so relax. Who is this? So this is the last Adrian. Oh my god, look, Adrian, look at her. Every time I see the blob, I get
Hmm.
so happy. It's
That's how you
literally,
know it's real.
yeah, it's literally just that. You know it's real if you see the blob.
Yes.
That's our check, yo, is the blob. Nah, the blob is so funny to me because it literally just looks like one of the stupid seals with just like a wig. Like the hair is so big. It's bigger than the body. Oh my god. Alright, now Eric is gonna go there and try and help them. But it's possible she captured them and is ready to kill them. As soon as. Bro, I don't trust any of these images anymore. Also, this lady is so hot. I actually really like this lady. She is so fucking hot. As soon as I give the word. Each flower has a gem embedded in it. You just said, I saw the flower. I remember what that is, but I don't understand like how that works. So is the flower their core? Is the gem like their thing? Is the gem always in the flower? Is the gem with them? Like I'm a little confused on the whole sort of like setup right now, but we'll see. Dude, what does he want? So he basically is trying to like blackmail Urek here. He's trying to like I guess use hostages. The flower is their core, the gem is their power. Okay. Okay, working theory. Okay. Sounds like you're holding them hostage. Yo, can I get a +1 for that? I literally just said that. Give me that +1. Because you're too scared to face me in a fight. I mean, listen, he did the Mago right now. What did Mago do? She thought she was going to win, but she had an ace. Well, not really an ace, but a backup just in case. John Lieber came here thinking he was going to fuck up Urek, but what did he do? He also prepared a backup. These people are nice, man. These people are smart. I like that. True, fighting you is a little scary, but I'm still enjoying it. Yo, this guy's sick. As you know, others' misery, oh my god, there's the flower, fuels Mago's power. So if you destroy that, then does Mago die? Like, I'm so confused, because now it seems like this is her core right here. So the gem is their power. Okay. That's why I choose this place to resurrect her. I didn't expect you to show up, but maybe it's for the best. So now the question is, why is John Lieber trying to resurrect her, right? Does he just want to help his fellow Shining Ones that are evil, aka the corrupted Shining Ones? Does he want Mago specifically for something? Is he the only one, or is she the only one he could have, he found? Maybe the other Shining Ones don't want to help her, he couldn't find them? Does she have a specific power that he needs? A lot of questions, not a lot of answers as always. The more you despair, the faster Mago will regain her power. So he's trying to feed Mago right now with all this bullshit, yo. What exactly are you all hoping to do here by restoring her power? You think Mago has better potential scaling because Hope to Despair is broken? I think so too. I think so too. This tower has tests, each with its own rules. There's also Shinsu, another kind of power. Oh, I like this. I like what he's going into. Mind you, we've went through most of this chapter and we have not mentioned Phantominium once yet. If it's not all a coincidence, then this tower was built to test those who enter and make them grow. And I do believe the tower is trying to do something, right? For what reason, I don't know, but it's definitely, it wants people to take the tests and stuff. That makes me wonder, whom this enormous tower and its countless inhabitants exist for? Ooh! Let's see, Pagoose. Let's see how important this is. Adrian, pay attention. Take notes. I don't know the answer yet. Because I think the implication is going to be Phantominium made the tower. I think that's going to be the implication here. What I'm feeling out right now, my Hail Mary guesstimate hypothesis here, is that this whole tower, the whole system and everything, was set up by Phantominium, maybe. But let's see. Because maybe that doesn't make sense, but maybe it could. I don't know. It's a Hail Mary. Let's see what's going to happen. It's a work in progress. But it's probably someone the world needed. Like you, or Lord Phantominium. Phantominium mentioned. Someone immensely powerful. That's the conclusion I reached, at least. You're saying a new... Oh my god, they're using the word. You're saying a new Axis will be born? Yes, and as you're well aware, we can't allow that to happen. We're not going to wait until this being reveals itself. We'll take the tower first. We'll seize everything in this tower that was prepared for this being. Oh, nah, he's going crazy, all while sitting on this poor creature. And make it ours! Then it'll never even get the chance to be born. Such is the will of Lord Phantominium.
He said the episode.
They said it.
And it
They
ends
said
there.
it.
They just end it right there.
My god. So let me get this straight. Because there's a... Yes, this is pretty big, right? This is pretty big. So what exactly is an axis? Because they mentioned it here, and I think we know it, but have they explained it to us in the story yet what an axis is? Because I think we know it even though we're not supposed to, right?
In the story, I don't think they've explained it, but in the blog posts, I believe they have.
Okay.
They're basically like world hoppers, like they can go between worlds, right?
Okay, yeah, I know they're big deals. Like, Phantominium is an axis, right?
Yeah, because the initial construction of the Tog world, like according to SAU, and this may have changed quite a bit, but now that they're introducing like Earth and like other universes and like the universe and whatnot, it could be different. But he mentioned that like the tower was going to be just like one area of the story, and then like there'd be different worlds where like there'd be different stories, and the Axis would like travel between these places, so they'd be like immensely powerful because in comparison to the people who are stuck in one area, these ones are, you know, not only have the ability to travel but have the power to back it up.
So, as Bagoose mentions here too, right? This kind of reminds me of in Marvel we have like, it's not necessarily new; it's been around for a while, but there's different power levels in Marvel, right? We have like, city, continent, world, universe, blah blah blah. And then we have reality warpers. Reality warpers, they have their own like sort of power scaling because even they have like levels to them. Like there's low reality warpers, high reality warpers, but reality warping is like a big threshold. Like you have to be strong to even get to that point, right? Oh, excuse me. But what's interesting to me here is that it seems to imply that Urek is an Axis, doesn't it? Let me see.
Perhaps, since he's like supposed to counter Phantominium, but who knows? Maybe he's just like a stronger, shining one.
No, but look, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably someone the
Like
world
you
needed,
or
like you or Lord Phantominium, right?
hold up.
Someone immensely powerful. So a new Axis will be born, right? So it kind of seems like Urek might be an Axis too.
Wait, that makes sense because he was literally in Earth, right? He
Yeah.
didn't begin at Earth because when Urek was born, he was in that random ass area. Like, you know, that area where like all the shining ones existed or whatever.
Yes.
Like he was born like wearing a robe. Like he wasn't like an Earth. But
So
yeah, that could have been a long time ago.
who
But that's
knows?
what I'm hypothesizing.
So this is where, Pagoose, from what you're saying, 100 Enryus couldn't be the weakest axis. You know what that extremely reminds me of? There were people, I don't remember who it was and I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember hearing like a statement saying like, "Oh yeah, the strongest regular could not beat a ranker if they were sleeping," right? Like a ranker could fall asleep in front of a regular and the regular could not hurt them. I don't believe that. I don't fully believe that, right? I do think there are some regulars who are like almost rankers who could probably do it, but I don't like this. One major issue I have is the power scaling, man. I don't like this like overly strong thing because these things don't get backed up in Tog a lot. Again, Blood Tamara, invulnerable, not really invulnerable. Disconnect, deletes everything, but doesn't really delete everything, right? And that's a family head, by the way. I know I'm picking on the Blood Tamara, but that's like a low level item. It is from the workshop. They did glaze it, but still, right? I don't like these statements because they usually don't get backed up. Even if it's from SIU, I feel like SIU doesn't back these up accurately, right? Because even with Urek, right? How is Urek getting scratched and stuff when he's saying the strongest thing, the opera, could not hold him for a fraction of a second, but then Bomb is scratching him at that point in the story? Like, are you kidding me? Same thing with the princess here. The no-name princess scratched him, and it's like it doesn't make sense because there's other things stronger than the princess not able to hurt him. I don't I don't like these phrases because SIU doesn't back them up too well, but it's weird. You think the outside got an Axis? Who knows? SIU probably realized the Axis could have been way too strong to begin with, and he might have scaled it back. I hope he did. I hope he did. Really finding the exceptions to rule. Yes, I like that. I like when we follow these people, but I think Urek has a high potential to be an Axis because they're kind of putting him with Phantominium here, and Phantominium, as far as we know, is an Axis, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think he is, and if they're
Yeah.
putting Uruk on the same thing as him, I think Uruk's an Axis too. So it seems like an Axis is born from the world. Like the world needs something, and they kind of will it. So kind of similar to, I guess, like how the tower operates. It's just on like a smaller scale. But I don't know. Do I ever
When they speak of
imagine?
this new, oh yeah, let's go Pagoose comment first.
Yeah. Do you ever imagine they were curious? Levi. Who is Levi again?
The one who does the question mark curse or whatever, Levy.
Oh, Levi. Oh God, I don't remember.
Levy.
When I hear
He's in
Levi, I think of fucking Attack on Titan.
he was in Last Station.
Yes, I kind of remember him now because Bomb counted the fuck out of him. I remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I don't know, man. I can't imagine Levi doing it. But again, the statement was any regular. I don't believe that. I don't believe any regular can like not damage family. Now, obviously, there's exceptions, right? I'm assuming we're not counting Adori because Adori was a regular and beat a ranker, right? And Bomb is an exception because he's special. He's also an irregular, but he also has other stuff going on too. But no, the main cast is too normal. No, I agree. But again, I don't like these statements because I feel like some of these regulars, especially like if we're talking about like high A rank regulars, like you're about to be ranker, right? There's no way they can't not at least scratch or hurt the rankers. Because even look at this, right? Even within the rankers, and I know they're rankers, right? But even within the rankers, we have like, you know, special exceptions, kind of like what the fuck is her name? Also, what's going on, Hanukkah? Um, what was the sniper lady's name? Lafav, right?
LaFave.
Yeah, Lafav has like kind of a cheat code, and I'm pretty sure there are regulars who have these things too, right? And again, what does Tog and SIU like to do? They like to make exceptions, right? And again, I know Adori is a princess, and you know she's I don't know if she's a hybrid or what, but obviously she seems to be probably or not Ha family. She seems to be REA family, but this is where I don't believe these statements because I feel like just SIU does not back them up properly most of the time. Now, granted, can many regulars be rankers? No, I don't think so. But I don't think these statements should be taken too seriously because they just don't end out being proven at face value like that. And yeah, Haas needs to have a crack sword, but still, he is a regular, right? Like by the definition, like it is something that could be possible by a regular. I don't like this idea how it's like I just don't like things being too black and white, right? But you're not wrong. We haven't seen like a crazy exceptional regular. True, true. Because to be fair, we are seeing like the super crazy ones, like the big exceptions. But regardless, I don't like these like over like what it is. It's not just like a strong statement. It's a ridiculous statement. Like it kind of is very tropey, where it's like it's so ridiculous. Like it just doesn't end up true some of the time though. But this statement's like, oh yeah, 100 NRUs can't be the weakest axis. It's again like the strongest regular can't touch the weakest ranker. It's like, from what I've seen in talk, I just don't fully believe that. I don't know if it's like bad writing, SIU's like bad habit. I don't know, right? Even Belvedere, one shot Dorsey. Yeah, but again, Dorsey and all of them are weak. Like I think they're getting hardcore carried. Well, also they're where they're not really supposed to be, right? Because they're not even really doing tests anymore. They're fighting like branch leaders of the family head. Like they're way beyond where they're supposed to be for sure. But and yeah, I know Belvedere is weak as hell. I mean, he can't even fucking fly, which is hilarious. But I don't know. I just don't like these ridiculous statements. Like these statements I think are being made partially as like a shock factor thing. Even though there's a lot of truth now, I'm not saying they're outright false. I just feel like there's a lot of times where in talk these over the top statements have just been disproven. And
Could
it's
be
like
part
it's
of the false narrator thing that we have going on in Tog, like how people often embellish the family heads, and like that's just like within the story itself because that's like the narrative that they themselves like
for the
tell to all
family
their
heads.
rankers.
Yeah, I agree with the family heads. But again, this is something that I'm assuming was in a blog post. This was not in the story. We
I
never
suppose
heard
it
in the
was, yeah.
story like,
When it
oh,
comes to blog posts, I feel like the older ones you kind of have to take with a grain of salt because obviously the story is going to like kind of shape into something different as he keeps, working on it. Like there's some things that have stayed consistent. Like we have we saw Kun Maria show up like on the last chapter of season 3 or whatever that kind of sticks to like the season 1 type shit, right? But
mm-hmm.
like a lot of the other things have kind of like changed over time. I think, like you said, with like the rankers and like how their proximity to regulars, or like the distance rather, it feels a lot closer with the main cast, and that could just be like like a lot of this is just me reiterating what you were saying before, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's like it's okay to like say that the stuff in the blog post is not correct anymore, or is at least like a little misleading
I just
at
think it's
best.
it's over the top for the sake of being over the
Yeah,
top. And I've noticed SIU does this a lot. And maybe it's purposeful, right? Maybe it could be purposeful, but I don't take these statements as like true gospel anymore because it's like the boy who cried wolf essentially. I've heard crazy statements like this so many times, and I don't think, even though they're mostly true, I don't take them as true as they are black and white on paper, essentially. Like I just don't. It's because it's almost like just like a Korean thing. I feel like where it's like they just like to be over the top with some stuff, but it just doesn't end out really proving as accurate as it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Pan got jumped by dozens of rankers and watched them. Yes, but I don't know, man. It's weird. Does it prove to be true most of the time? Yes, but I feel like it's happened enough times where it's not fully accurate. Where it's like I feel like they're just making the statement to make the statement, and they're trying to make it sound crazy to like generate hype. And it happens often. Again, I think it's like a very, I don't want to say Korean thing because it sounds a little wrong, but I feel like it's a very of the culture thing. I think I have a skewed perspective because we are dealing with the main bomb crew. No one outside of them has been able to do anything. Well, that's not that true because again, we have Adori. I don't want to use Adori too much, but technically Adori already disproved this, right? She's not really like is she strong? Yes. Is she gifted? Yes. But she's not an irregular. She's no one super crazy, right? There's other people who are like Adori. There are other princesses, right? Why was Adori able to do it? Unless there's something I don't know about Adori, right? She's an exception among hundreds of thousands. But all it takes is one to disprove the rule. right? I'm kind of using like scientist logic here, right? You're saying no regular could do it. A regular did it. Granted, it took 100,000 regulars, of losing to find one who won. But the fact that one did it, it already disproves the statement. And that's why I'm excluding bombing them. They are irregulars. They do not count, right? You can't count them. Why can a Dory do it if the statement is no regular can do it? I feel like in the future, there's the possibility of these things happening. Again, I just think the statement itself is just over the top. I should never define logic by the exceptions. Yeah, but Adrian, do you understand what I mean here when I'm saying like the logic? All you need to do is find one thing to disprove it. It's like a thing in science. You know what I'm talking about? Like for a rule to
Uh
be like secure, it has to be or for a
oh,
definition to be
you
that
mean like
way.
law, like
Yeah,
scientific
yeah,
law?
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Scientific law.
Well, this saying is not really law though. It's just kind of like the the culture, right? Like the culture is shaped around the fact that regulars have no chance against rankers because
No, but
like,
what I'm saying
99.9%.
what I'm saying is that
Uh-huh.
these things are sort of said like law. Because look at the statement before,
Yeah, sure
right?
they are. Yeah. But
A
that doesn't mean that
hundred
they actually are.
Yeah, but it makes it seem like that. I guess that's my problem. It
Yeah,
makes it seem
it's
like
just
it's
the way the
law.
story is written. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because we're receiving this knowledge from, characters and stuff.
Well, not
Like
always. Not always.
well,
Because
we get it. We don't get it like directly, but we get it through like things where it's like the rankers obviously like whenever like bomb pulls up to a ranker, like they often scoff at him, right? Like
oh yeah,
every single time they underestimate him, and it's because that's just kind of like that's what life is like in the tower. Like you've never seen something like that happen except for the Adori incident, which is like a very isolated thing. So it doesn't
true.
really change anyone's perspective on the matter. Like even when he beat the ranker for the first time in like the testing area or like the ranking area, like no one really believed it at first, and they had to check with the guy. Like they thought the ranker was a pushover, that it wasn't bomb that made the amazing thing, but the ranker was the problem.
Yes.
So
This is
yeah, I don't.
where I guess just the TLDR. It's like I've heard so many statements that say one thing, but then we see the exception to them. It's like again,
Yeah,
blood Tamara, invulnerability, not really.
it might be overplayed a
Disconnect.
little bit.
Yeah, I think that's my main issue. It's happened more times than I'm comfortable with. Look at
Hmm.
disconnect. Disconnect. It deletes everything, but it didn't delete Blossom's flames, right? And again, we keep bringing up the same things, but these are the main things that are kind of showing it. It's like now we're going to like things, right, with axes. The weakest axis can beat 100 Enryus. Enryu's no fucking joke, right? Because Enryu's technically number two, Phantominium's number one. And then you can always argue like, oh, are the rankings accurate? What we're being told accurate? But I feel like more times now, like often I've heard statements that just end up being like somewhat disproven or somewhat not true. But and I do understand, in science there are things that are exceptions to stuff, but I'm saying in general, right? The typical rule is that you can't have like a scientific law unless you show like it's like provable. Like there's obviously there's exceptions too, but it's weird, right? It's very, very weird. I'm just saying, like, I don't like how much it comes up and then it's disproven. And I feel like it happens more often in Tog. But either way, though, what did we think of this chapter, Adrian? What did we think
Oh,
the will of Lord of Phantominium?
this is a great chapter for like a one-off chapter. It has everything you need.
I liked it a lot. I
Yeah,
feel so bad for this guy right here,
you
man.
got lore, you got fighting, you got like drama. You even had romance at the end with the Asa and Heidi.
Yes, yo, that's one of my favorites, yo.
A little bit of everything in this chapter.
I like this. This is a good chapter. It makes me scared, like for the next one. It's like, oh, if this one's good, are we gonna get like a chapter with nonsense next time, right? How do you continue Maine without reading this? True, true. Well, I feel like you could. You're just gonna be missing a big
You'd be
amount of
ignorant.
context.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
it's
now
a
it's
lot of
like,
it.
damn. I'm trying to think, like, what does this really mean? So in my mind, and I wanted to say this before, I feel like the tower was created by the world or by whatever, because like from what John Liebert's saying, if we're assuming what he's saying is true, right, which we're going to be assuming that, it seems like the tower is kind of in a way similar to Mago and stuff, maybe siphoning power or creating the environment to create the next axis. Like It seems like that's the whole tower's purpose. The whole tower's purpose is to create the next axis. Which, why is it doing that? For what reason? Who knows, right? And this gets into weird things like, how does the world know it needs an axis, right? Can it tell the future? Is the world an entity? Is it a god? Like, is it. There's so many fucking questions, but yeah, you can't read this without me neither. Look, I think you should just read it like as it's come out, right? I think you need to read season one, two, three, then Urek, then season four. Even if like you're 5 or 10 years in the future when everything's out, I'm a big proponent of reading things in the order they were released, even if it doesn't make too much sense. But if you see Ed one, you would be like, "Who the hell is this, and why should I care?" Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. I think you can read it on its own. It can stand on its own legs, right?
It
But
tries to, for sure, because it tries
yeah,
to explain basic concepts like Shinsu in
yeah.
the story.
But you really, really should read mainline before you read this. You should. You don't have to, but you should.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the full enjoyment. Like some people who would read this without reading mainline would probably not like understand it as much and like, wouldn't get the full enjoyment factor.
Yeah, yeah. Like, can you do it? Yes. Can you like function on your own? You might be confused at certain points, but you can certainly do it at least up till now. But it's like you really do need to like read mainline too. Because the biggest thing is they never explained what an axis is, even in mainline, right? It was only blog post. We don't know we're not supposed to know what an axis is right now. So I'm assuming they're gonna explain it maybe next chapter or soon. But if you're just like a story reader, you don't know blog posts, you don't know anything, you don't know what the fuck they're saying here, even with mainline knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we got to give it time. But I think it's a decent standalone thing. It's just, again, you should read mainline for sure. But this was good, man. I really like this chapter. I feel very bad for some of the people, but at this point, I'm kind of questioning. Do you think Rahab is dead?
I think aren't we still looping? Like what's going on? Has the
I don't
loop
know.
ended?
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna loop again. I feel like we won't because Urek's here. If we loop when Urek is here, that would be crazy. I feel like this is the last loop. We'll see.
Well, I mean, the
Well, it's the
angels were
first loop we see too.
resurrecting like just all the time. Like, are the angels still like not capable of resurrecting anymore? When did that stop? Like, is Mago being defeated what stopped that?
Well, I don't know, but I don't think it matters because I don't think we're gonna loop again.
Okay. Well, I mean, regardless of the loop, like they were able to resurrect without like when Eric was killing Leo over and over, like he was just resurrecting just naturally.
Well, that's because Mago's
Was that
power.
unique to yeah, but was that unique to Leo or aren't the
That
other
was unique to Leo. I'm pretty sure.
okay, so the other ones can't have that?
I
Okay.
think maybe they can have that if Mago gave it to them, but it's not inherently just them being there. Have it like they don't have it just by being there. Mago had to have given it to them.
The goose reading my mind right now. When they were mentioning like the John Liebert was picking out all of these rankers for this floor, I was curious about Dan John too. Like where the
Mm.
hell did he come from?
Bro, I miss Dan John, yo. Where's my boy Dan John, yo? The sad part is I really feel like he's like underpowered now compared to everything else happening. Like he's really not going to be able to do too much. I feel.
Okay, so Pagoose, you believe that when Uruk erased Leo, that's the point where the resurrection cycle was broken? I would really like to see like a clearer moment when that happens because I don't feel like they make it very clear. Because throughout the whole story, like before Leo gets like erased, a lot of the angels, like particularly Lapis and
Rahab.
Rahab, are don't really care about each other. Like especially when they're fighting each other, like they're aware that if they
He
die, they'll
tells him
just come
just
right back.
die. Yeah, and then Lapis is
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I don't want to. It doesn't feel good." Like he's not like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm dead." He's like, "Oh, I just don't want to go through it." Essentially.
yeah. Mono didn't come back either. That's a good point. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
weird. I
think
thought.
here's what I think. Right. I think there's two types of reses here. Right.
Mhm.
There's the whole floor reset that happens. Right. Them redoing the test and everyone's memories getting reset. Right. And then there's the res where Mago gives you the special res where in the moment you just regen, you just come back. I think those are two separate things.
Hmm.
Because the whole floor resets over and over and over again and they keep redoing the test, right? So does that mean they would come back from that, or would they come back instantly from the Mago reset?
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't
Hard.
necessarily. I think the floor reset is broken because they're gonna stop it, right? Even if it's not broken yet, I don't think it's going to happen again. I don't think we're gonna see a whole floor reset. In terms of the reses, I don't know if it's a per person thing, right? Like I don't think it's like a shared chain link between all of them. Like if he breaks Leo's reset, let's just say they all have the Mago res, right? Like Leo has the Mago res, not the floor res, the Mago res, and then I don't know who the fuck else. Rahab, right? Rahab has the Mago res. I don't think by breaking Leo's one, Rahab's one necessarily stops working, but I don't know. It could. I think the bigger thing is maybe because Mago got violated by Edwan, maybe that broke it. But I don't know because it seems like Urek can obviously deal with this thing, but is it connected between all of them? Like if one breaks, they all break. Is it like a daisy chain or? Again, there's just so many questions. I don't know, but yeah, I think the floor resetting's done. Now, whether that's from Eric or not, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get a direct answer. I don't necessarily think it matters. I think the floor resetting is just over for whatever reason it's over. It's done. It'd be nice to know why, and I hope they give us a direct answer, but I'm not holding my breath for that, right? If Eric used light on Rahab, he has done so. Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the question is, do other people have the res that Leo was given? Because Leo was given a task by Mago, right? Remember Mago told Leo, go bring me Uruk or whatever. Mago obviously knows he can't just do that, right? So did she give him that res then? And by that logic, right, did she give other people the res? Because if she gave it to Leo then, she really only gave it to Leo because she was asleep before then. She couldn't have given it to everyone else unless they all just had it. There's so much ambiguity with this. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we saw the end result. But it's a good question to ask to like see. But hopefully, we'll get the answer. But I don't know. I
I
really don't
wish
know.
SAU would do like Q&As after certain chapters, like like how he did the blog post, but like a few Q&As on like the questions people have on chapters. Because I
Yeah,
feel like a lot of things, like maybe SIU thinks that we should be able to pick it up from like the chapter, but we're just not picking it up. You know what I mean? Because like he knows everything because he's writing the story, but
true.
it's hard for someone who knows everything to
To
truly
see it from all
understand if like the
perspectives.
readers know. Because he doesn't
Yeah.
want to just like write every single thing. It's like, oh, by the way, here, this is what's
You
happening. You
don't
know what
want
I
to
mean?
hold
Because
their
that's not how you
hand.
tell
Yeah.
the story. Yeah.
The other issue
So
too, and Pagoose is mentioning it here, and I kind of figured is remember we're taking this chapter by chapter. Like
yeah, it
I'm
could get
gonna have,
explained.
yeah, I'm gonna have so many questions now that might get answered next chapter because again, we used to do four, so a lot of my questions would potentially get cleared up. We gave it time. Now we have to wait for a longer time, so it's like we really don't know if things are gonna get answered. But to be fair, SIU does not answer a lot of things, man. He just leaves things very ambiguous a lot. So I do wanna bring that up too. That is something that happens often. He learned his lesson. He doesn't do Q&A because fans were getting so mad that the blog post thoughts didn't come to fruition. Imagine getting mad at someone because story ideas 10 years ago changed. I mean, that's true. And I think in a way it's a good thing. He has to be careful because no one's perfect. SIU probably has paradoxes and things that don't make sense. And then if you answer questions, it's kind of like you open up more potentials for pitfalls, essentially, right? Like the fans will dig into a lot more than you're capable of because it's just, all these people versus one guy. And they could pick out things and they have time and everything. So what if SIU answers something like on a whim or just like instantly without really thinking it out and stuff? And I'm sure people don't like to hear 10 times, oh, I need to think about that. I'll get back to it, right? I think the best thing to do would be, and obviously, this is just like a what if, right? He doesn't have to do this, but I would hope one day he does. The best thing to do would be like collect like questions after every chapter from like the community and then just answer whatever you want like for clarity purpose and like maybe you could see like certain questions got a certain amount of votes so you could see like oh yeah this is the highest voted question the people want the most. He has no obligation to answer anything, but maybe if he sees like this question's asked a lot, maybe he could take it, think about it, and then answer it if he chooses to. I think a live Q&A would be the worst thing ever because he has no time to prepare. I think people need time to prepare, but I feel like Oda does this too, like the One Piece creator, where I think every so often he answers Q&A questions, but he chooses what questions to answer. I don't know if it works like that. I don't know if there already is something like that, if SAU even does that, or if he doesn't want to. I don't know, but I think that was like that's a really good thing. He gets
Yeah, that's what I
questions.
was thinking of
Yeah,
too in terms of Q&A. I wasn't thinking of like a live one. That's
yeah,
definitely a better way.
yeah. Live is just I think that would be a nightmare because then he could like say something where he doesn't necessarily like remember certain things, and then the fans be like, "Oh, we caught you. You're wrong," but obviously he didn't have time to prepare, right? Like, I think
Hmm.
the Tog is so big. You need time to make sure things are like proper and stuff. Even for the creator, like he needs to go back and make sure like things will align with like old information if he wants it to, right? So it's hard. It's not an easy thing, but dude, I was mentioning it to Adrian too, Pagoost. I miss that Yurang's name is not Hannah anymore. I'm so sad. She had a twin called Ilarde that birthed all the Yensha. I didn't think it was a twin. I thought it was like one of her like underlings, like the brood mother essentially. It opened an old pile of worms because Ilarde was an irregular. How does she have a sister? Did they open the door? Yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly right. I don't want SIU to like open up like potential just scrutiny, and then he gets annoyed, and then because I know how the fans could be, right? The fans could definitely like be looking not necessarily for his downfall, but be waiting to pounce on like some wrong information because some of these people are like crazy. They live in their own world and they want their own headcanon to be right, so they'll look for any sort of excuse or anything that SIU will say, and then they'll take it as gospel, and they'll be like, oh, but he said this, and then SIU can come up and be like, oh, actually I did some more research, and actually it's not this because I actually meant this. And they'll be like, no, no, he's wrong. He's just changing it out. Like, people are crazy. People are fucking crazy. So, for sure, I think SIU needs time to make sure things make sense because the lore in TOG is so big. It's like, I know games like League of Legends and the Hoyo stuff, the Hoyo gachas, their lore is so big. They have like specific people that have to go and see any new released lore if it makes sense with the historic lore because there's so much lore. You gotta like do checks and balances to make sure like nothing gets really like broken in a way. So I think Tog is probably of that level with how much lore there is. I mean, SAU could certainly do it by himself, and I'm sure he wants to, but we need like a lore master. Which, granted, some of the fans are like that too, and I count kind of you as that, Pagoost. You and Azul, the S rank guides, so to say. But it's very interesting. I think I do wish he would answer more questions, but at the same time, like, I don't want to open up a potential Pandora's box, like can of worms or like pitfall, where he gets upset or it's like a bad thing that happens because the fans jump on him for something he didn't mean to say or he said like quickly just to answer the question without thinking. It's weird, but either way. With that though, I think overall, Adrian, just to kind of get like a hard definitive rating, how would you say this chapter was? Yay or nay?
Yay, for sure. Yeah.
Damn straight for me too. I'm very excited for the next one. We're getting into the deep lore. But now, one thing, 8.5 out of 10. I don't want to rate it per se, but I'll just rate it casually. I'll be like, it was a very good chapter. The fighting was whatever to me. Again, a lot of the Urek fighting, I don't even really necessarily care too much about anymore. But I think it was good. And which is sad too, because a lot of the Urek's fights really aren't the type of fights that I personally like. I like them for the certain reason of its glaze, but even then, I told him, I keep saying my main issue with the Urek fights now. Urek is just messing around, and it's like a lot of fluff. It's like a lot of combat that's there for no reason, because Urek just is not going serious, right? Exactly. Like he just punches, and he doesn't even need to punch this many times. He's just fooling around. He's not going crazy, which he could, but all the other fights I like. He's like a Viltrumite. Yeah, the Viltrumite fights are funny though, but those ones are more like better to me. Even though I'm not caught up, so be careful what you say, Pagust. I'm not caught up in Invincible at all. But from what I've seen in the 2 seasons I have seen, the Viltrumite fights are just at least it's closer because one isn't just severely overpowered and just pretending to lose or pretending to struggle. They seem a lot like more like okay, at least like win sometimes, even though it is a lot of punching. At least it's animated. I always love animated stuff more than this, believe it or not, but it's good. It's decent. But yeah, the chapter was great. And now I want to show what Pagu sent me. So the chapter's officially over. Me and Agent thought it was great. Everything was good. Yeah, no, Invincible, I heard some scary things. Again, I try and stay away from spoilers, but I heard some not great things. But I'll leave it at that. I don't want to talk too much about Invincible because again, I'm not caught up. But Adrian, you know what Pagoose sent me, bro?
Hmm.
And also, Pagoose, think about this, right? You say 1,000. I'm usually doing 1,500 to 1,800 now daily. I've gone past 1,000 most of the time now. Like, I wish I only did 1,000. I'm nearing 2,000 on average daily now. It's ridiculous, but he sent me this. I don't know what this is, but let's see what this is. It's involving push-ups. So he sent this and he said it reminded him of me. So let's see. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Oh my. Bro, even he's fucking. That guy is jacked, by the way. Holy shit. Oh, Chihuahua. Yeah, the stream isn't ready for that one, but
Must have been very hard back then to count
yeah, that shit
push-ups.
was funny. Nah. Believe it or not, what I do is I do my push-ups in sets of 150, right? Which is sad. Ripley's, believe it or not, I never wanted to do this many. I wanted to just hit 100 like Saitama and say, wow, I did 100. That's it. And look where we're at now. I do so many push-ups that I have to count them on my calculator because I forget because I don't do all 1,000 straight. I do like I used to do 100 per set. Now I do 150. But again, when I'm doing so many, sometimes I lose count because I do them rapidly and I do them like back to back. I'm done with my push-ups usually in like 30, 40 minutes. I could do like the 1,000 plus in like 40 minutes, but this is where I use my calculator and every day what I do, and I feel like this is kind of an achievement by the way. I'm gonna like, show off a little bit here if I can, but every day I minus my push-ups by 1,000, right? So I do however I do, and then I minus 1,000 every day. And again, I was trying to only do 1,000, and then I raised it from there because I'm crazy. But every day I minus it by 1,000, but I do extra. I do over 1,000. Agent, do you know how many push-ups I'm on my calculator now? Because
Gotta
remember,
be like in the 10,000s, right?
I'm at 50K.
You're at 50K. Oh,
Today,
damn.
today I hit 50,000 push-ups, which is
While
extra.
subtracting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every day I minus 1,000 from this number, and
You've
I'm
been
at
doing this for a long time.
50,000. Yeah, I've been doing this for years, but I've never gone like this crazy with it until like the last 2-ish years, I would say. Because I remember when I started my job a year and a half ago, I was not doing this many at all. I didn't even think of this in my mind. So this is within a year and a half. I've hit 50,000 extra push-ups, minusing 1,000 each day, minus my gym days. But even though on my gym days I do more push-ups, even though I'm not supposed to, but I don't count my gym days because I'm supposed to only go to the gym. But in terms of muscle recovery, Pagoost, I'll tell you this: I was on a massive diet recently. I went from pretty heavy to very light in the span of 8 months. I lost like 55 pounds because I was extreme dieting. And in terms of muscle recovery, I've never felt worse than when I was dieting, but that's because I was starving my body. I was doing 600 calories a day. I was at certain points not eating any calories, like not even drinking water for literally, a day or two because I was just trying to like get the scale lower. But I'll tell you this, the biggest thing you can do is protein, protein, protein. I do actually take creatine, but I've been on and off with creatine, right? Creatine has been I don't necessarily think it's too helpful, but it's sort of like a background thing you don't notice, right? So I would say take it because it's not bad. There's literally, from what I've researched, no negative thing. Now, again, if you take creatine and something bad happens to you, don't blame me, right? Not professional advice at all here. But for me, I will also admit my body is pretty different. I've exercised my whole life, right? I've been running since I was like in early high school, and I'm way older than early high school now, right? And I've also been doing push-ups nearly my whole life, on and off, of course, but for the past like 8+ years, I've been doing push-ups pretty much consistently. But in terms of recovery, I'm the worst person to ask. But creatine, I think, will help. And if it doesn't help, it is not hurting you. I take it just because it has other health benefits too. Apparently, it's supposed to help like mental stuff as well, but mainly it's to like look bigger. It does help with recovery, but again, it's not something I think you'll actively notice. I don't think it's a big enough thing, but maybe for you it will be. Maybe it's also, confirmation bias. Maybe it's a placebo. But it definitely does do something. It's just I haven't noticed a big enough thing to really count it, but I don't not take it. Like if I have it, I'm gonna take it. It's just I hate how expensive it is. I don't usually buy it, but 1500 at 1 second of push up is like 25 minutes of push ups. Oh yeah. I mean, I take breaks in between, but I can pop out 100 push ups in about a minute. Like it'll take me 60 seconds. I've actually done it quicker, right? I've timed myself. I can pop out 100 push-ups in about 57 seconds, right? And now that I'm eating again, because again, I was on a big diet, I could do push-ups like so much better now, right? In terms of soreness, I would say your body just gets used to it. This is where I think Adrian can actually answer this maybe a little bit better, but Adrian, since you're like new, because I'll be honest, my body does not get sore. I don't remember the last time my body got sore. Maybe at a certain point my wrists kind of got sore from doing push-ups, but
Mhm.
one thing you gotta know about me is I sound crazy because I do so many, but I've worked my way up to this. I did not say one day I'm gonna do 100, I'm gonna do 150. I used to do 10 and be like, all right, 10's enough. Then I raised it. I was like, all right, 10's kind of easy. Let me go to 20. 20 is enough. I consistently raised it, but slowly, to where my body just adapted. I never did any big jumps. I was very, very gradual with what I did. But Adrian, as a person who's now getting to like the upper echelon of push-ups, right? Because now you said you're doing 100 too, and you're not
Yeah.
as you haven't done as long as me. Do you get sore when you do these things? What's your
Um,
experience?
Yeah, so for me, it's a little different. I kind of have like a more chill attitude to it. Like, I'm not doing sets that often. If I do multiple sets of like 100 or something like that, like 250 or like 300 or something like that, then I do get sore. But what I've been doing recently, I just try to see how many I can do without stopping or like without putting like dropping the push-up position. And I'm trying to see if I can raise that number. And I just do it once a day. So like I'm not going too crazy, but I think the consistency is what I'm going for. It's like now recently I used to be able to like do 40 pretty confidently or like
Hmm.
30 pretty easily. Like back in the day, like before I started doing this thing. But now I can like I don't want to say easily, but like if I can push it, like I can do 100 without stopping. So it's actually crazy. Like when you start, it's very hard, but you kind of like you hit the wall. But once you pass over the wall, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. I think I said this before, but it's like you kind of like have like an epiphany. It's like it just makes sense now, and then like you
Yeah,
see the
it's not
progression
impossible
afterwards.
anymore. Like your mind like
Yeah.
is like whoa. So, and also it's not personal because I'll tell you, I've said it a bunch of times on my normal stream. That in the normal stream, a lot of people could get a lot of information about me with how much I talk about myself, but in terms of my weight and height, I'm pretty short. So I'm 5'5". I used to be 210 pounds at 5'5", which was absolutely massive. And I still, ran and did all my things. I run, I go to the gym, and I do my push-ups. And at 210 pounds, I was still doing. Now, was it harder then? Absolutely. But I also had, I was bigger. I'm not going to say I had more muscle because I'm doing the most now that I've ever done in my life, right? I used to like wax and wane. Sometimes I used to do more, sometimes I used to do less, but I'm doing the most now, and it's the easiest it's ever been now that I'm lighter. But just because I was heavier doesn't mean I still didn't do them. It was just a little bit tougher. And also, I wasn't doing as many back then. But for me, I mean, it's very weird. I'll tell you this. I did feel sore one time. And trust me, I'm not trying to gloat about this. I'm not saying that, and I'm not lying either, believe it or not. I'm not trying to say this to like gloat or seem like an asshole, right? Or show off. When I went for my personal best, that's the only time I felt sore afterward for the most part. My personal best in a single day was 3,200 push ups. That is the most I've ever done in a single day. And at the end of that, I was struggling. Like the last couple hundred push ups, I was sore. I pushed it, but I was sore. The biggest thing I'll say, Pagoost, is this, right? Creatine is great. I think there's no downside to taking it. So even if you take it and you don't feel a benefit, it is benefiting you. It's just not that major, but there's no downside aside from just it's a cost. Protein is your friend. I think protein is great. You literally need protein for recovery. I don't track what I eat too much, but I do try and get protein. Protein is the godsend for the most part because your body needs it for recovery anyway. Your body can convert into protein, but it's not a great process. I think. But the biggest thing I would say is just it's I again I never tried to do this. Now I don't know what your goal is. I don't know if you want to get muscle, lose weight, just a personal goal of doing more. But I never, and I'm bordering on sickness here. I never wanted to do this many push-ups. I don't like that I do this many push-ups, but my mind is sick and I don't like digressing. So once I do a certain amount, it's like, okay, now I got to do this much. But then over time, I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for too long. It's a little easy. Let me do a little bit more. But then that becomes the new standard. Essentially, the limit always gets raised and I don't stay at it because I feel bad if I stay at it. But the big thing with me is I did it casually, right? I'm very casual with what I did. I don't like that I'm here, and sadly, I won't go down unless something happens, which might happen soon. But just listen to your body and do things casually, because if you want to push yourself, you will over time. But just take it slow, take it slow, relax, and over time, you will get used to it, you will get better, and you will progress. Even if it's slow, don't worry. Sometimes you want it to be slow. Because my issue is I don't stop. I keep going up, and that's a bad thing. I feel like certain people will stop at a certain point. I don't. But I'm pretty sure that's not you. But just take it slowly. You'll reach your goal because the body is amazing and it adapts. Just give it time. Just give it time. But one thing I'll really say, and this is, regarding weight loss, the biggest way you will lose weight, exercising helps, don't get me wrong, but your weight is decided in the kitchen and with what you eat. Hardcore. I exercised my entire life, and a large part of why I exercised is because I wanted to eat what I wanted. I was 210 pounds at 5'5". I was fucking huge. I wouldn't say I was necessarily too unhealthy. I was definitely unhealthy to an extent, but I was also very athletic. But in terms of hardcore losing weight, it's calories, calories, calories. I'm not even talking about macros, right? I don't typically track my protein, my fats, my carbs. I don't care about it that much. Calories is king at the end of the day. Now, to be healthy, you should track your macros, right? But at the end of the day, go online, look up a total, it's called a TDEE. It's I forgot what it's called. It's like something your total daily energy expenditure, right? And this is the harder part, right? To me, exercising is easy. The hard part is the eating, because that's the mental part. Cardio does not burn a lot, right? Lifting will help you. All these things burn calories. Lifting, gym, they will raise your calories, sure. But the biggest thing that matters is how much you eat and what you eat. I know this firsthand. I've experienced it. I've did it. I lost 55 pounds in 8 months from eating. My entire life that I've worked out, I've never lost as much weight as I have dieting. Now, dieting, the only issue is, can you do it forever? Can you make it normal? It's hard, right? But this is where if you want to lose weight, calories are king. You could not work out at all and lose weight. It just depends on how much you eat. Now, for me, food is a comfort. I love food, which is why I was 210. But you want to lose weight, exercise can help, but the number one thing, food. Calories is king. I hope that answers your question, or I hope that helps out a little bit here. I don't know if you want to add any context, Adrian. Did I say anything, or did I miss anything? Do you know anything else that I didn't cover?
No,
Am I wrong?
you're good. You know best. Nah, I eat whatever the hell I want, but I think I just eat less than you normally do, so that's why it's not as big of an issue for me.
Okay, okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
Adrian's pretty fit. He's pretty lean. I wish I had Adrian's body, man. Y'all don't know. But yeah, no. In terms of this stuff, I would say it's really just your diet. Honestly, you don't have to work out at all as long as you just use less calorie or eat less calories than your body's using. Every day, on average, the body uses 1,800 calories. If you just do nothing, and it depends on your height and weight and age, right? That's why I say look up the total daily energy expenditure calculators. Those help a lot. And then track what you eat, weigh what you eat. That's what I did. And it helped a lot. I mean, granted, I hated it, but it helped a lot. It helped me lose weight. If your goal is to lose weight, it's eating. But if your goal is to gain muscle and stuff, that's exercising. But you could do both at the same time. But either way, very not Tog related, but like I said, Tog ended before. But I guess we'll basically leave it here. The chapter was great. The exercise talk, I love getting into these other topics too. I love, yo, John Lieber here. I love this look of him, man. John Lieber's cool. But either way, that's basically the episode. Anything else at the end here you want to add, Adrian?
All good.
All
All
right.
good here.
So we hope everyone enjoyed. We hope everyone enjoyed the fitness tips, the tog reading, everything. As always, we stream this live at Twitch TV Tecnics channel. Usually now at Mondays at 9 p.m. when the chapter drops, maybe a little bit after as we set up stuff. But you know, if you want to know exactly when or if there's a delay, you can look at twitter.com, also known as x.com/Tecnics channel. And if you're sick, dying, or dead and you missed the VOD, you can watch it at a delay at youtube.com/Tecnics. But that's pretty much it. Again, we hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next time to find out more about the axes. Have a good one, everyone! Eee!